Good morning, everybody. Friday, options expiration date. I put that on the title of this video just to kind of, because, this Max Payne has been killing us. Max Payne's been killing us recently. And, so I mean, there's very high possibility that we could get pushed down to 8. I think Max Payne, that's why I was late on here. I was kind of checking where we were at with Max Payne this morning, and it looks like the number still is 850. So market makers are going to try to push us below down to 850. They haven't been successful throughout the week. We've been trading above Max Payne, which has been different. But we are pretty close right now. We're down about 24 cents in pre-market, so we're kind of floating right in that area to where another 27 cents and they can get us there. So, I don't know. Volume is a little, obviously less than it was yesterday, but at the same time, more than we've seen recently. I keep bringing this up. I've been tracking. I don't remember the exact number we were at when we started yesterday, but I do know that all the days prior, about an hour from now, we were only at about 100 to 200,000 in volume. We are at 562,000 volume right now. So still a higher volume day. But if my memory serves correctly, this is less volume than we saw yesterday morning. We'll have to see how that plays out. But still pretty high in volume. I mean, we're got more than 500,000 in volume, and we still got an hour and a half till market open. So something to just keep an eye on, and yesterday there were some other big earnings calls that, there's going to be a lot of gappers today, other stocks. But I think, after looking at the social sentiment that was in this stock, and, nothing's really changed. Still nothing but positive news. We still crushed on earnings. There was still some, anyone who wasn't here yesterday or maybe may not be aware. I think earnings, we went up in revenue like 140% to 420 million. Doubled our lives under management from quarter 1 to quarter 2. And again, the big news coming off that earnings call that I saw was, basically the Clover assistant. They were talking about that they're looking at, that it's on track to have managed $1 billion in revenue. So that's huge. We also recently heard that, they're trying to roll out plans to basically, like, the way I interpreted it was license this Clover assistant to other healthcare providers. That was the day before earnings. And then yesterday we had the tech forum where, my biggest takeaway, it was kind of a lot of the information that we as holders already know, but kind of the big one that I took away from it was it really seemed like they took some shots at United Health and Humana. They really did. So you could really see the passion in these guys, and that they really want to change the game in healthcare, and that's why I'm into this, is because I see this as being a disruptor of of that sector, and that's what makes this play exciting to me, regardless of a squeeze, a gamma squeeze, anything else. Um, let's see. Let me get to the chat, and then we'll go through some of the data and information that we normally look into. I know I am coming on early. This is something I'm just gonna try. Yesterday I was up and I did it, and by the time 6 a.m. my time, when I normally sign on a half hour before market open, we already had a pretty big group in here. So I figured, you know what, I'll just give it a try, and I'm always up anyways, and I'm just sitting here looking through this stuff, so might as well look through it with you guys. If people continue to want to be on this early, otherwise, I'll go back to starting at a half hour before market open. But I do appreciate everyone who is in here with me right now. Looks like Dennis is here. What's up, Dennis? Good morning. Says low volume today. Yeah, I think we'll see it pick up though. I think every when we're this early in pre-market, you're looking at, not too many people have the opportunity of trading at 1 a.m. Most brokers allow you to come in at 4, which is right here when we started seeing volume pick up. There we go, right here. And then at 5 a.m., other brokers start allowing people to come in and buy and start trading. I think we'll see a little bit more of a pickup at 5:30, and then 6 in terms of pre-market is usually the big one. That's when like Robinhood and I don't know how popular they are anymore, but I know going back to like December and prior to this year, before Robinhood kind of saw its mass exodus, you would see a huge spike in volume at 6 a.m. because that was like when Robinhood traders got to start coming on. So yeah, I think every half hour we'll probably see a little bit more of a spike. At least that's how I remember it playing out yesterday. Pat, what's up? Good morning. Says, notice that as well. Bummer seems like, okay, you guys are talking about the volume. Yeah. Pete says, who the hell would be selling? Josh, compared to yesterday, yeah, volume's low, but before this, CLOV volume wouldn't even break. Yeah, you're right, Josh. Absolutely. 6-8 spin drift, and I know you guys were probably even talking about this before I signed on. This is probably hella old. I'm just going through, and I don't want to skip nothing over. What's up, 6-8 spin drift? Pete says $8 is absolutely the floor. Yeah, I really don't see us getting below 8. I think 8 was the floor. I know I was saying that even prior to earnings, but that earnings call, obviously the potential with us trading so close to 8 had it had the potential for us to get pushed down below 8 if short sellers had their way. But now that we've kind of broken up above 850, I don't see us getting back down below 8. I really don't. Let's see. Pat says, getting really nervous with my options expirations next week. Yeah, I have some too. I mean, I've been talking about it on this channel. It's like, I have my long-term position. Whenever I see potential for like, I think it's going to be a big move, or I think we have the potential for a big move, like around this date, I'll usually go in and just grab some extra options just so that I can make more money off the move. But and 820's been that date that I kind of like loaded up on. You know, it is what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong, and we'll go look through the option chain in a second too. But we still have a ton of potential here. I mean, look how close we're trading to 9. I really feel like short sellers exhausted a lot of firepower the last couple of days to try to keep us pinned down after such a great earnings call. So, there's going to be a breaking point somewhere, right? I mean, if all of a sudden we get a couple big pushes or something, maybe someone comes in and uses some leverage and slaps down some in the money options to give us that push or whatever it has to be, and all of a sudden we break past 9 or past 10, it's going to happen at some point, and it could really happen like overnight or intraday or whatever. So we're right there within striking distance for the squeeze plays too. Let's see. Dennis says, doesn't matter to me. I just have the day off because of big power outage in Michigan. I have the day off and was hoping for some excitement. Yeah, me too. Raj, what's up? Good morning. Shrimply's in the house. What's up? Good morning, Shrimply. KLF. I like the little avatar, the Clover logo. That's dope. Lisa, what's up? Good morning. Oh, you know what? While Lisa's here, let me see if I could do this. I gotta figure this out here. Damn, I'm hella far behind in the chat too. All right, we got ourselves a new mod. Lisa's now a moderator of the channel. What's up? All right, Moto, what's up? Good morning. Says it's 1 p.m. in the UK. Okay, so you got to be more awake than I am. VN says love your show yesterday. Keep it up. Right on. I appreciate it. Raj says, Coach, I was wondering why doesn't Clover, with the power of a legal department, not take any action against the dark pool abuse? Why is it left to the retailers to deal with it? Um, I mean, first I would say this: it's not just Clove. I mean, if you look around the markets, yeah, you could, there's some stocks that are only getting traded 20 to 30% in the dark pool, and some of the more manipulated ones are 50%, like we've been seeing in the dark pool. But you know, at the end of the day, I don't know. I mean, I've talked about this as well too. Like from a company standpoint, unless the company is trying to raise money to like because they need the cash now, they're not overly concerned with the ticker price on a day-to-day basis. Kind of like big institutional investors. It kind of goes back to that same question, like why is it that a big institution who's long a stock will lend their shares out to short sellers? Well, they don't really care what the day-to-day ticker price is. They're in for the long haul, and they if we're trading at 8 today, my take at least, and I could be wrong, is that Clove, they don't care if we're trading at 8. It makes no difference to them. It only matters to them when they need to raise cash. And we know that they don't need to raise cash right now in the short term. Otherwise, they wouldn't have went for the cashless warrant option. We know they have enough cash on hand to last them, I think, another 2 years. So now, at some point, like put it into perspective, like a company like AMC, they were on the verge of bankruptcy. They had to raise cash. So for them, if they're going to do an at the money offering, they want that stock price as high as humanly possible when they do that offering so that they can get more money for their shares. Um, so they might be more apt to take some stuff on at the moment. But yeah, I think the problem's way bigger than Clove. To give you my short answer, even though I gave you a long one. Sorry about that. Blah blah says check the FTDs. Yeah, I'm gonna. What's up, blah blah? I'm glad to see you in here too this early. I'm gonna star that one because we're gonna go. As soon as I get caught up with the comments, I'm gonna start going through everything. Like we'll check Ortex, we'll check Fintel, we'll look at everything. So I just put a star on that comment. But good morning, Trenton. What's up? Josh says, I think it's insane we were at 1013 and just dropped so hard. Yeah, but so you got to think about it this way too. And I know it's hard, but we're in this for the long term, right? Like for me, obviously I don't want it to take 3 years or 2 years or 3 months. I'd like to see it happen tomorrow, but we're holding, we believe in the company. We know how good of this stock is that we're holding, and it's just kind of like, when they do come in and, suppress the price, they're just like winding it up even tighter, right? They're just compressing the spring, the coil that eventually is going to explode upwards. And they're just like, clamping down on that thing tighter, which is going to make for a larger explosion. I mean, you think they shorted the shit out of it at 1013, and that's even more shares that need to be covered. That's even more FTDs now that are going to need to be covered. There's just it's just going to allow for a more explosive movement. That's my take on it, at least. And it's just going to be that matter of time where I said, like, we're going to hit that breaking point. We're going to get past that $1 amount that really kicks it off, and then it's gonna explode. I mean, we've seen it happen before on June 8th, and the setup's there for it now. And I think patience is just the key. Like people always say, just buy and hold, and I really think that really it's as simple as that. Obviously, I just said a little while ago, like I'll play some options here and there when I think there's going to be a big move, but I think it's important to say and reiterate this as much as possible. And it's funny, I was talking to Tarheel about it the other day, I think yesterday actually, just that, when I really want to reiterate whenever I talk about options that like it's a very, very fractional portion of my portfolio. Like I've got this major portion of my portfolio is long-term shares and leaps in Clove that, I'm not worried about those expiring. I'm good with it. So when I do throw out some options, it's a very small fraction, and I know that there's a very high possibility that might, expire worthless. So it's more, I look at those as more of a bet, so to speak. So you don't want to get like overly consumed with options because you could really, burn yourself that way. Trent says the early bird gets the worm. Um, you know what? Before I even get it, just speaking of Tarheel, I just want to say, like, even with 53 people in here, I don't know if he's in here listening. I haven't caught up in the chat yet, but I really, really appreciate all the support that um, for myself and Tar Heel. Like we've been doing this for a while now, and you know, the Clove community is just been amazing. And I know there's been like a lot of other streamers popping up and YouTubers popping up, and there's been a handful of us that have been around for a while, and I just really appreciate everyone who the support. Like Tar Heel did that show the other day on Wednesday, and I thought it was amazing. I mean, at one point we had I think 1,000 viewers on at one time, or somewhere close to that, like 800 or 900. I mean, that was just kind of awesome and humbling to see, just the Clove community kind of sticking with us, Tar Heel especially, and then myself, and me and him have been working some things out. We're gonna, like with me going back to work this week, he's been amazing, and just kind of like picking up the slack for me kind of having to sign off early, and not being able to get on as much, and I don't know, I just really appreciate the community. It's cool, and it's cool to see you guys like today. I mean, I sign on an hour early and I already got 51 people in here, so it's pretty amazing. I like it. That's all. Thank you guys. Let's see here. Target short sellers, what's up? Have you seen my video last 7 days before Gamma? What do you think about it? I have not. I'm sorry. I went to bed super early last night. I wasn't even watching YouTube, other than I went to go log into YouTube. I should say this too. I don't know if SRT's on here right now, but SRT's been on here since the beginning, I feel like. And he has his own YouTube channel. It's more like into racing and that sort of thing. He's got a ton of followers, but he's been very helpful, like emailing me from the start and trying to give me tips on how to do the channel and everything. And so last night, I just happened to jump on YouTube real quick on my phone, and I noticed that he was doing a live stream, and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome!" So I went in there and watched, and it was cool. And I think that was his first one. So I know I'm way behind in the chat. I'm gonna try to catch up right now. But SRT, if you're listening, man, I thought that was cool. I liked your setup. I hope it was successful. I think I stayed around for about 15 minutes. But anyways, Target short sellers. Nah, I didn't check it out. I'll watch it as soon as the stream is over. And for anyone who doesn't know, Target Short Sellers has been doing a great job too, covering Clove, and that's his channel. If you type in Target Short Sellers, um, and he's doing this all the way from Belgium, which is awesome, I think too. And I've talked about that, how humble it is for me, like just and amazing to see all these people coming in from all over the world. Um, so, anyways, let me keep going. Jason says my prediction for volume is 50 million today. Soft Bunnies, happy Friday. Cuckoo Bird, what's up? Scotty, good morning, Scotty. What's up? JF in the house, good morning. Shang Tsung, or $9 option call exercise yet, or will they close above 9 Friday? So yeah, so the way options exercising goes is you got to be in the above the strike price, right? And it doesn't happen until Friday. And really, I think there's a misconception with this too, right? So not all options are exercised. So just finishing above the $9 strike doesn't really help, so to speak. It puts pressure on intraday to help, like if we're trading above 9 today, then market makers are going to have to buy up more shares just in case everybody was to exercise. But that's not always the case. I don't know the exact number. I know Tar Heel said it in the past, but not a lot of people actually exercise. They'll just sell their options at the end of the day for whatever the profit is. So I do think that, like, I've even just talking to my friends and everybody else, about stocks, and it's like everybody's like, oh yeah, if we finish above this price, it's going to be good for next week because all these options are going to get exercised. Well, there's two things part of that which I think are a little bit off. Is one, you have a lot of these market makers that are selling naked calls, they're hedging along the way. That's how the whole thought process behind a gamma squeeze, right? So as we start trending upwards today, they're going to start buying those shares today to have them hedged and already own them, so that if everybody was to exercise at the end of the day, they already have those shares in their back pocket to deliver to the clearinghouse. So the only time we'll really see like a big jump is on the following week, like on the following Monday and Tuesday after options expiration, is when you get kind of that big move, right? So if we were to get a huge move today and kind of catch market makers off guard, now all of a sudden they may not have had the opportunity to collect all those shares, and to avoid failure to delivers when they have to deliver those shares to the clearinghouse, they have, I think, 2 days to get it done. So T+2, so then they can go in on Monday and Tuesday and accumulate those shares, hopefully for a lower price on their end, and then and then deliver them to the clearinghouse without coming up with the failure to deliver. So I think that's the confusion. But for the most part, um, exercising options doesn't really do anything but maybe decrease the float a little bit, and prevent market makers from being able to sell those shares that you didn't exercise back into the market. But um, I guess what I'm getting at is it's not going to make the price increase, because the price would have already increased as they accumulated them. I hope that makes sense. All right, Levi, what's up? Good morning. Rabbit Yo, what's up? Lisa says in the long haul, Clove's going to be valued more than Humana and United Health, trading above 400. Hell yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. This is definitely a long term play. Let's see. How soon will we get an upgrade from analysts? I don't know that we will, at least not from some of the analysts that have been covering this stock, only because a lot of them are heavily invested in Humana and United Health. So I think that's part of the manipulation we've been facing as well. Ecom, what's up? Tarheel is in here. Okay, I know that was hella long ago. So Tarheel, I hope you heard my little spiel a little while ago, man. But I really do appreciate you, and again appreciate the community, for real. Let's see. Tarheel says he's lurking. Snow Dog, what's up? Glad to see you in here. Trenton says, I'm sticking with the OGs for my Clove news. Right on, man. I appreciate you. Scotty said, I missed SRT last night too. Fell asleep. Wanted to go support. I don't know if I missed it. Maybe you guys were talking about it in the chat or something, or maybe on Tarheel's show, but I didn't even know he was going live. I had no idea until I just, like I said, jumped on my phone. But because I'm following his channel, it showed like SRT was live, and I'm like, oh man, because I know in my previous discussions with him, he said he'd never done a live stream, so I'm assuming that was his first one. But seemed like it was going pretty good. DJ Tardis, what's up? Good morning. Blitzkrieg says, love the SF Giants gear you have. The thing that puzzles me is how did CLOV, AMC, GameStop, and BlackBerry launch at the same time, June 1st through 10th? Okay, so I'm glad you love the Giants, for one. I grew up a Giants fan since I was a little kid. My question would be, are you in California, or you just happen to like the Giants? So anyways, Clove at first wasn't part of the memes, right? It was more AMC, GameStop, BlackBerry, Nokia, plus a handful of other ones. But one, because they all were kind of grouped in as part of the memes, and Clove later as one of the memes. I think it's twofold, right? You got a lot of short sellers who are targeting the same stocks, so a lot of them tend to move together. So then you have algorithms that are tracking these stocks together that feel like if it's time for the memes to move, they're going to start buying up memes, and so they're kind of tied together in that sense. I think you have FOMO buying, when people see one meme move, like back in June, AMC took off first. And when AMC popped, then the rest of them followed. There's kind of two theories I have behind that. One is the whole FOMO algorithm, all that kind of stuff, where the memes are moving, let's go buy all the memes. The other one is because a lot of these hedge funds are shorting the same stocks. Um, if they're getting pressure put on them on one end and now they're losing money and they need to start unwinding positions, unwinding for a short seller means buying back my stock and all these short positions I have, and so they'll end up having to buy back into Clove, buy back their GME, buy back their BlackBerry, as AMC's putting pressure on them. And the same theory has kind of been floated out there in the opposite direction too, because most hedge funds or anybody are also long on other stocks, right? So if all of a sudden you saw a market turn down where, because a lot of these hedge funds, they get way bigger margin than we do. So if they're trading on like 10 times margin, that means like a 10% loss in a stock they're long on is, if they're over leveraged on that, is going to be a huge loss in their portfolio 10 times. So, again, if they need to start meeting margin requirements and maintenance requirements and have to start unwinding positions because of another position they have is doing poorly, that means they're going to have to sell off some of their other long stock that maybe they're already profitable in and unwind some other short positions. So that's my take, at least. Ross says, I keep the Tesla ticker next to Clove on Webull to remind me we should eventually be. I like it. What's up, Mike? L Train's in the house. What's up? Blitzkrieg is in California. Okay. Nice. Let's see. Target short seller says the Smart Money Group, a big group of 2,000 retails, are ready to jump in Clove. Let's do it. I'm ready. How many shares are left for the public to buy before it becomes supply and demand stock? And will they just issue more stocks to eliminate that energy? Nah, I don't really see. First off, Kyron, thanks for joining. I appreciate seeing you in here. Um, I don't think the company Clove. Yeah, I was going to say our company, which it kind of is, right? We're all shareholders, but um, I don't think they're gonna pull a AMC and dilute the hell out of the stock. And the reason being is they don't need the cash on hand right now. Now, typically when a company does that is when, they're maybe on the verge of bankruptcy or they have debt, that they need to pay off, something like that. Like, yes, Clove isn't profitable right now, but they're trending into a direction that's going to allow them to become profitable. Most startup companies like theirs, when they initially are IPO, they start off at a loss and they work their way into it. They need to get more lives under management. The more lives they manage, the more revenue they see, and the easier it'll be to manage all of them, right? Clover Assistant, the more lives it starts managing, the more healthier the patients become, the less that you need to actually put out as a health insurance provider to care for your patients. So they're trending in the right direction, and they're looking to become profitable as it is. Now, if the company all of a sudden sees an opportunity to, buy someone out or expand into a different direction or something like that, and now they need to come up and get some cash on hand and get more cash in the bank, or let's say, right now they have cash on hand for 2 years. If we get a year in and progress is slowing and all of a sudden they need to raise more capital, then you would kind of see them issue more shares. But Clove's not really in that position right now. If they were, they would have took advantage of those warrants and not went with the cashless warrants. So I think we're good. I don't think we're going to see that dilution that some other companies saw. Mike says, love the Giants, took the bus to Candlestick and sat in the $2 bleacher seats with my dad when I was a kid. Yeah, I grew up in Candlestick too. More so Giants games. I think Niner games were probably just too expensive, but I went to a couple Niner games growing up as well. But yeah, I used to love Candlestick. Joseph, what's up? Pat says, sorry to divert a bit, but has anyone been watching Following Cliff? Seems like it's priming up for a sweet breakout if it closes above the 28 mark. I haven't, but I have a crazy story that I won't get into too much. But Cliff used to be another ticker, and I can't figure out what it was unless I'm mistaken. Um, but there was a CLF. I know it's not Cliff. That's just the way I see it when I look at it. That I used to own, like, God, 2-3 years ago, as a long-term investment for like $1 or $2. I think it's CLF. And yeah, to see that it's trading at $28 right now is very depressing. I shouldn't say depressing. I'm putting too much on it, but you get those ones where it's like, man, why did I sell that? All right, Gunslinger, what's up? Good morning. Okay, so it looks like we caught up. Let me go check out, see where we're at now. So 878 right now is where we're currently trading. Still down about 23 cents on the day. I'm going to go ahead and start pulling up some of this other data that we got. We can start with Fintel. Sorry. I know blah blah was just asking about Fintel. Before we even get to that, institutional ownership. I was looking at this morning before I signed on. A lot of, it seems like every day we've been seeing a ton of buying here on Fintel. This is all institutional buys, and yeah, you see some sells in there too. But I mean, like J.P. Morgan joined the party. What do we got here? Who's this? Cube Research and Technologies, another big buy, 168 shares. Simplex Trading looks like 2 million shares. That's a put play right there. So, I know the one thing I keep pointing this out to, like, so with Simplex Trading, they put in a put position of 900,000, but they put in a call position of 2.2 million, and they bought 155,000 shares. So it's important to kind of understand that, like, this is a net long position, even though it looks like, hey, why'd they buy puts? But when you look at the big picture, they're net long on the stock. They're a hedge fund. That's what they do. And that's part of a strategy where you'll go in and buy shares and then at the same time offset them with puts just to cover your downside. 30,000 shares. What's this? Same thing here. SG America Securities, 206,000 shares, and at the same time, 130,000 puts. And so that's just offsetting their backside, but this is a net long position. Yeah, I think that's the only updates for yesterday. If we come over to the short interest page, just to take a look, what are we looking at? Short share availability. So right now it's showing that we have 1 million. Earlier this morning, I think that was 8 hours ago, it says. Damn. 0. It looks like at one point we had 0 shares available. Now there's 1 million. So a little bit getting returned here, according to, remember, Fintel, I think it follows iBorrowdesk's data. So it's kind of like, it's only coming from one broker. I could be wrong on that in terms of Fintel, but I know iBorrowdesk only gets one broker. Let's see what else we have. Borrow fee went up a little bit. It did hit 5 yesterday, but that's coming off a lot, after being less than 1. So it's still at 2.2. So that stuff's starting to trend in the right direction. Short sale volume yesterday was 40 million, 40%, and 42% when you combine in some of the other exchanges. But that's quite a lot when you think about the amount of volume. 31 million in short volume, right? If you that's that again. I think and I think that's what blah blah was maybe getting to, was that we're gonna end up seeing some failure to delivers after yesterday. Absolutely, because to see 31 million in short volume, where are those shares coming from, right? On a typical day like this, where we're normally just seeing 2 million shares short, 1 million share, but now when the volume starts increasing, I mean, yeah, that could be someone shorted the stock in and bought it back and then shorted it in again. And that both those instances would still count as short volume, but um, that's a significant jump there. And I would imagine we will end up seeing, when the report comes out, which that report would be a little bit further out. The next report we're going to be looking at will give us data up until July 30th, and then this will be the second report. So probably in about a little over like 35 days, we'll be able to look back at this number and see how many FTDs actually came in based off of August 12th. I'm interested to kind of keep an eye on that. That seems to be it for what's this short interest one. Yeah, so let's take a look at Ortex. Ortex right now is reporting a 1.3% increase in today's short interest. And basically what it's looking at, if you could see these numbers up here, is estimated short interest coming in today. Today they're saying is 25, with 41% of the free float is on loan, 46 million shares on loan. Okay, so that number's starting to get up there. Back in June, when we had the last like big run up, these numbers were as high as I think like 60 might have been the peak. 59 or 60 million might have been the peak from what I can remember. But you also got to remember that with all the buying that's been going on, and if people are buying in cash accounts and not lending shares out, and also if you have new institutional buying taking place, which we've seen a ton of, I just went over that in FinTel. If these new institutions and new retailers like ourselves that are buying the stock aren't willing to lend our shares out, then who knows? There may not be 60 million shares available like there was, a month and a half, 2 months ago. So, that's why this may be the top. It's saying utilization is 97%, which would tell me that there's only 3% more shares available. I'm not going to do the math right now, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to get us up to 60 million. So my assumption is there's not as many shares available there anymore. Cost to borrow is 1.5. That's not ridiculous, not too high. But if we look over here, max of 2, low of 1. So nothing to get too excited about. But I've said before, and we've been saying it. I know Tarheel has, Altrades has, everyone has, like, the data that Ortex is reporting, the data that iBorrowDesk reports, all that, it's only based off specific brokers, and it's only based off of, what's reported to them. So if you're, trying to manipulate a stock, and it looks like iBorrowDesk hasn't even updated yet, but if you're trying to manipulate a stock, you're not going to tell the truth, right? I mean, you're not, and you're already participating in like illegal practices. You're going to, what's going to stop you from reporting inaccurate information? So you got to kind of take this data for what it's worth. And even if it was being reported 100% accurately, you also have to know that that still isn't 100% of the lenders that are out there. So you're still not getting the full picture. It's just, it is what it is. That's the way our market's set up. We don't have access to all the data. Let's see. Lisa says, I'm interested in seeing FTD data from July 6th through 9th. I saw your other comment where you said you meant July. Yeah, I'd like to see that too. Like what happened on those days when they were supposed to have returned the 19 million shares. And that brings me right into my next point. Like, it's easy to just take this data at face value and say, well, shit, everything's been decreasing. Clover isn't a short squeeze play anymore. And, the thing that to me that reaffirms that it is and that it will still squeeze is those 19 million FTDs we saw. I mean, that was ridiculous. And I'll pull that over just so you guys can see this since we have it up right now. Where'd that FTD data go? Fails to deliver. So the most recent report that came out, and these get reported, I think, what, 15 days later. So once July 3rd, once the end of July passed, I don't know if July had 30 or 31 days, but either way, 2 weeks later, then you get the report. So it's really delayed. But July 8th, we had 19 million failure to delivers. On the 9th, it's saying 12 million, and on the 12th, 11 million. Now, this isn't adding them in. It just means all that this data is saying is that supposedly 7 million shares were returned here, 1 million were returned here, and that 10 million were returned between July 12th and July 13th. And at that same time, we saw the price of the stock declining. So with low volume too. So there's absolutely no way like that in my mind that this happened. You know, and we didn't see any like big sell data coming in because yeah, it could be possible if, let's say, there was a report that showed that one of the institutional holders of this stock sold that many shares right around that same time frame. Then you'd be able to say, okay, well, maybe they went in on the dark pool and bought those 19 million shares, and that's why we didn't see the stock increase. That's possible, but the problem is we didn't see any data, any SEC reports or filings come through saying that one of the big institutional holders of Clove sold those shares. So that's what makes me know that this is manipulation. Those shares are still short. um and they're just doing some of these illegal dark pool tactics to kind of hide these shares. And I could get way more into that. I could talk about that for hours if you're interested in hearing more about how that stuff works. I did start doing these chalk talk videos on my channel. I try to keep every video between 5 and 10 minutes and just explain different things like that. So if you go down in the channel and find the chalk talk playlist, there's some on there that talk about market manipulation. If you're wondering exactly how they're able to, hide these FTDs and that sort of stuff. But anyways, what is total short interest, including dark pool? There's really no way to know, Mike, and that's what's terrible. Is when you start trying to include the dark pool, the whole thing about that is you don't know. Like every transaction has a buyer and a seller, right? So there's no way to know if basically when you short a stock in the dark pool, um, it wouldn't make sense to go into the dark pool and like open a short position, so to speak, um, unless it's like a naked short position and you're doing it to suppress buying power. So I guess and those naked short positions would just show up as FTDs. So and because these FTDs keep getting rolled out and that sort of thing, I mean they eventually have to cover them, but it's really hard to figure out what those actual figures are. Let's see. Al's on record saying wouldn't be surprised if it's 30 million FTDs. What's up, Big Daddy Roro? Too. I didn't say good morning to you yet, but yeah, it could be. I mean, if you see, and like even Ghost was on here, and we were talking about how the increase in FTDs and how like when they kick them out and they try to suppress the price, what are they doing? They're creating larger amounts of failure to deliver. So now this last report we saw, what, 19 million was the peak. In about next week, we'll be able to see the next report. Should be coming out, I think, on like the 17th. I think on Monday. I could be wrong. Monday or Tuesday. But either way, when we see that report, I would imagine we're going to see an even bigger number, right? And it's just going to keep growing and it's going to keep growing. And it's like, um, we just got to kind of see how it goes. But I would imagine it's probably going to be bigger like that too. And that's why I say all they're doing is compressing and compounding the problem. 30 million could end up turning into, so if this 19 turns into 30 and then that turns into 50, and I mean at some point you're going to have failure to delivers that are what, half the float. And it's they can't continue that forever. At some point they got to cover, and they're just building up a bigger problem. And that's when we're going to really take off. That's when you're going to see the big squeeze, is when they finally get forced to go in there and get them. Louis, what's up? Good morning. Let me see. So are the FTDs just swapping them back and forth in the dark pool? Kind of what you're looking at is, but again, you're taking on a massive short position, right? So if I have a million in FTDs that I need to deliver to the clearinghouse today, I have a couple options, right? I can go buy those shares the right way in the market, but then that's going to drive the stock price up. And I don't want that because I still have a large legitimate short position as well and put contracts and everything else. So maybe I go into the dark pool and I'm like, hey, Rick, let me buy a million shares off you, and basically though, you don't have a million shares to sell me. So you sell me fake shares. Now you created a naked short position. But now I got a million shares to go return to the clearinghouse. Now you took on my naked short position, but for a fee, right? So you might have me buy some worthless puts or worthless call options from you as well that I know is never going to be exercised because the price is never going to hit that point. So it's basically just me giving you a payoff to take on that position, and they keep trading them back and forth. But you got to remember that's costing money too, right? Um, and at some point, when the company, which I'm surprised, unless I'm missing something, that we're not on the reg show list, because at some point when you get on that, then you start kind of getting more under a microscope by the SEC, and some of the governing bodies, to where you can't pull that shit anymore. And so, um, that's something to look forward to too. But I mean, with 19 million FTDs, I'm surprised we're not on that reg show list. And maybe we are, and I haven't looked. Um, let's see here. Lisa says, hedge fund market makers have underestimated our math and logic skills and our ability to hold. Absolutely. Um, all right, let's see here. I think I had a couple other things I wanted to look at. We talked about Max Payne. It's still 850 for today. iBorrowdesk still hasn't updated. Oh, I wanted to take a look at the option chain. So yesterday we saw, and I haven't looked at this yet either, but yesterday there was a ton of open interest um, in this stock. Like, I mean, not open interest, I'm sorry, volume. Especially at, you know, today's expiration. And I just want to see. I mean, but the thing, and I know, I think I said this in Tarheel's chat because someone was asking about it. Like, man, look at all the open interest today. Um, but one thing about volume, when you see volume in a stock, I mean, in an options contract, that could be people selling contracts that already exist. So if I already own 10,000 call contracts on Clove, and then Scotty, comes in and buys 5,000 contracts, it'll show up. He's buying them from me. So it'll show up in the volume side that there was 5,000 volume on the Clove $9 strike for today. And, so your initial thought might be, okay, well, that means tomorrow there's going to be 5,000 more open interest. But that's not the case, because really what happened is I just sold Scotty my contracts, right? So now I only own 5,000 and Scotty owns 5,000. So it kind of offsets. So let's take a look. I'm interested to see where it's at, because there was a ton of volume that came in yesterday on this option chain. So, okay, the 13th up. Yeah, so not a huge. I don't remember exactly what the numbers were, but I mean, this volume over here yesterday was like 40,000, 30,000, 20,000. So there was a lot of contracts getting traded around. But, I mean, numbers are still significant. But based on those numbers yesterday, we could have seen 50,000 over here if it was absolutely new buys, but that wasn't the case. So we got 18,000 calls to 4,000 puts, 11,000 to 500. 24,000 to 800. So this is still fairly significant numbers right here. And then again, the 20th is where things are absolutely, 20 to 4, 32 to 9, 15 to 2, 35 to 4. So that this chain is still primed and ready. And I talked about this yesterday too. The delta here, it counts. So it's not like, shit, we got to wait till August 20th. No, if we were to roll up today, so let's say we get past 9 today, the closer we get to the end of the day, if we're trading above 9, all of a sudden these shares need to be bought. Right now they're only at 43% purchased, assumingly that these are all, going to be algorithms buying. So that still leaves 57% of this 1.8 million shares that are going to be bought up today. Now, as you could see, just as a example, the 850 strike right now for this week has a 61 delta, meaning 61% are hedged. You come out to August 20th, it's only got 59%, but that's not a big difference, right? I mean, once we get to 9, 10, if we were to start climbing today, all these shares for next week, they're going to get hedged too. And you go all the way out in the chain and even look like into November, even these are going to get hedged. I mean, it's just going to keep. So everything counts. The entire chain counts. You don't need it to happen like the week of the options chain. And even if you look at the last squeeze, the last time we really squeezed up, that gamma squeeze was on June 7th and 8th. The closest option chain at the time, I think, was June 18th. So that happened 2 weeks before options expiration. So it doesn't need to happen on that week, I guess is my point. Let's see. HZ on Reddit had this awesome analogy in a post where he said it was like Home Alone and the hedge fund market makers are Kevin waiting inside the booby trapped house, but we're just standing outside. SRT, what's up? Yeah, I earlier I was talking about how I came across your stream. I was just talking about like the community in general and how cool everyone's been, and like this whole group that we've had in here from the very beginning, and how I really appreciate that you guys have been sticking with me in Tarheel and the help that you've provided. And, you know, also, I mentioned how yesterday I went on YouTube and just kind of came across your stream. I didn't even know you were streaming. I don't know if you guys were talking about it in the chat yesterday or what it was. But yeah, I had no idea, but I'm glad that looked like it went off pretty well. Love to talk to you about it too, offline, just to kind of see how it went. And one thing I noticed on your stream, which I don't know if you guys can see it right now on mine, was when I was watching your stream, there was captions, live captions. So as you and the other dude were talking, it was coming up with the closed captions like live at the moment, which I think is cool because it allows, like, let's say I'm doing something, my kids are watching TV, I can mute it and just read too. So I don't know if my stream does that or if that's a setting that you picked. I think I sent you an email last night too, just to see how you turn that on. But it could just be that it was my settings that I that I had on my end on my phone. But anyways, man, I'm glad you tried to stream out. That's awesome. If we hold, eventually the hedge funds will flip on each other. No one wants to get caught holding the bag. Yeah, I mean that's part of it too, right? At some point, these hedge funds and I know me and Ghost were talking about this yesterday. Even was like, it's in their nature. They're hedge funds. That's like in the title of their name. Every time they go long on a stock, they'll buy some puts to offset. They go short a stock, they're going to buy some calls to offset just to protect their downside. And when they're really ready to flip positions, I think you're going to see a lot of call buying, and they're going to flip it around so that they can get on the winning side. So if at some point they realize that, like, oh man, we messed up, we're buried in this, the first one out's gonna take on the less losses or stand to make some money if they flip their position fast enough. So yeah, I think that's part of it too. I mean, these guys, they're just greedy. They're out to make money, and if they smell blood in the water, I think hedge funds who aren't involved in this stock will eventually come in and start attacking, and ones who are short in this stock will decide to flip and beat the others to the opposite side. Pat says 23,000 open interest on the $30 strike for next week. Yeah, I mean that's the type of stuff though. Like that seems like that's just, a ton of wasted money. And it very well may be, but if a gamma squeeze kicks off, and I'm just going to pull this back over because this is insane. This is August 20th. So put it this way, every block of 10,000 contracts equates to 1 million shares, right? So 2 million shares, 3 million, 1.5 million, 3 million, 2 million, 4 million. I mean, there's just so much open interest in here. And that's what ends up happening as we get to higher strike prices. Hedge funds don't want to be, or institute market makers, whoever's selling these calls naked, they don't want to get caught buying these shares up above the strike price and losing money. So that's what this whole gamma thing or delta hedging is all about. It's like, as the stock price goes up, they're going to start buying the stock at $9 or whatever it's trading at right now, $8.74, because they're eventually going to have to sell it to you for $9, and that's what guarantees that they could make a profit, right? So before we get to the $10 strike, they want to have enough shares in their back pocket at a cheaper price, so that if they have to buy some when the stock's trading at $10.50 to get their whole 100 to make good on their contract, they want to make sure that their cost average is below 10. So if you decide to exercise, they sell it to you for 10, they're still making a profit. And that's all it is. So, I mean, at some point too, even when you think like, damn, we're going to be, hammering the market makers. Not if they actually go in and buy these shares according to this delta hedging. The delta hedging is there to keep their cost average below what they're going to have to sell it to you for. But when these gamma squeezes kick off and all this delta hedging is coming in from all these different market makers and institutions that were selling naked calls, that's when things start to get crazy, and some people get screwed because they end up having to buy shares a lot higher than what they're selling them for. But yeah, if we blow past like these numbers, 41,000 open interest at the $15 strike, that's a lot of shares that need to be bought, right? In the hedging that takes place, which will end up propelling us to 30. And I think there's so much in here that all of this getting bought blows out the chain. And that's what we're talking about. Like, if it happens, it's going to propel us past 43. But that's a if, right? There's no guarantee that this thing is going to happen next week, but the potential is there. D, what's up? Right now, volume, we're almost at 1 million. We're at 950,000, and now we're about a half hour before market open. So we're definitely lower volume than we were yesterday. But we're still higher than we have been in recent days. So I would expect to see, some decent volume today. I don't know if we'll see the 150 million that we saw yesterday, though. Could be wrong. We could see an increase here. We are gapped down right now. If we were to open right now, we would be down 20 cents or so off yesterday's close. 9 times out of 10 gaps get filled, so maybe we'll see that come right back up, gap fill past 9, and then start running. Who knows? Let's see. Lisa says, in my opinion, Clover is a great short and long play. I don't see bag holders. Yeah, I mean, in the short term, you got obviously the squeeze potential. You have a gamma squeeze potential, but you also have the potential where like this stock should be trading at $20. I think let's just call it 20. I know I keep saying 20 to 30 or whatever, but even at 20, it's a double up from where it's at right now, right? I mean, and that's going to happen, in my opinion, without a squeeze really soon. I mean, even just organically, if there was no open interest on this option chain, and there was no, slowly short sellers just like slowly start getting out, and they're able to do it even through the dark pool or whatever, and all of a sudden the short interest disappeared, and there was no options in the option chain, this stock will be trading at 20 anyways. So, and that's an opportunity to double up in the short term. So that's what I think Lisa's talking about as a great short term play. Then you mix in that other stuff, you can make a killing off this if it does gamma squeeze or short squeeze. Then long term, this is a triple digit stock. I mean, that's obviously my opinion, but this is a stock that should be trading for triple digits, or will be, not should be, will be, as they continue to grow, as they start rolling out the Clover Assistant into other areas, and getting it into more, with more healthcare providers, and kind of, following through with their plan and their guidance. If Clove gets a nice squeeze, going to sell 10% of my stock and use that cash to get my band in the studio to record our first album. Dead Amsterdam coming in strong with help. Dead Amsterdam coming in strong with help of a 4-leaf clover. Yeah. No, that's dope. I mean, that's the thing too. That's cool, right? I mean, yeah, and that kind of gets back to what we were just talking about. So it's like, yeah, I'm willing to hold this stock forever and get the triple digits, and and then just slowly scale out, kind of like we were talking about with Ghost on here yesterday. But when you get that short term cash, right? Let's say we jump up to 100 next week, and then you're able to kind of make some money and then go back in and buy at a lower cost. Now you got some extra cash in your pocket, and that's when you could do some fun stuff. I mean, I've done that in the past, where I've been able to put some money into my backyard, remodel some things, just take the kids on vacation, whatever it may be. That then you kind of get that fun money that you can invest into yourself, and then still, come back in and own your long-term shares, because I'm probably always going to own Clove shares. I'll say that. I mean, unless something like crazy happens, to this company, to make me not want to be in anymore. But I see this as like a super long-term play, like getting in on Amazon years ago. You never want to sell that stock. You might maybe sell a share here and there when you want to, pay for something. But, Tesla, getting in at Tesla way early on, this is what I see this stock as. SMJ, what's up? Justin says, hate to own Wish right now. Yeah, I mean, again, I know I've said it on here too, that I don't know a damn thing about Wish, but I know I've brought it up to Tarheel a couple times just on the phone, and some other people. I probably mentioned it on here. Like, man, I keep hearing about Wish. Everyone's talking about Wish. I go on Twitter, everyone's talking about Wish. I go on Reddit, there's all this talk about Wish. Like, I never did the research, so I never bought in. I never did anything with it. But man, I'm glad I didn't now. So Wish reported earnings yesterday, and man, it's not a huge drop off, but it is. I mean, we seen much worse with Clove, right? But I know this stock was potentially, it was supposed to go in the opposite direction. They were looking at this thing to go push all-time highs and everything else, and yeah, it's hit 650 in pre-market today. So it'll probably get some pullback though. I mean, that's just my assumption. Usually when you see a big gap down, you'll see a bounce back up, trying to fill the gap. I'm not saying it's going to get all the way back up to 10 today, but you might see, it might still go lower too, but I think 650 is probably the bottom right now. I would imagine that you'll see some upward price movement early on today. And then it'll hit a peak, and then who knows? But then it can absolutely from there end up going back down and breaking through 650 and just keep falling. Let's see. What's up, Clyde? Good morning. Says I want to run. Yeah, me too. I want the stock to start moving. Hopefully this morning. Let's see it. Good morning, Low Work. What's up? Happy Friday. Bart says, your education background shines through so well. Thank you for taking the time to explain and teach all the things. Yeah, no problem. I really enjoy it too. What's crazy? I'd say it's more of a coaching background, only because, like I've been coaching for 20 years. I've only been teaching for 5 or 6. But yeah, I think I do a good, not to toot my own horn or whatever, but I've been told by other people, and I kind of realize I think I do a good job of like breaking things down and explaining them in kind of better terms. I think that's one of my strengths, like with coaching in the classroom, everything else. And if it's something that I like, if it's a topic that I'm into, that makes it fun for me to do it. And that's why I love doing this, is just coming on here and talking. And you know, I'm otherwise I'd be talking to people that don't really care about stocks and probably annoying the shit out of them, right? like my coworkers or my friends on the weekend and stuff. So this is kind of my release where I could get to talk about it. And now it's to the point where it used to be whenever I'm around people at a party over the weekend, if the conversation went to stocks, I'd never stop talking. And like I said, probably annoying people that don't really care. But I don't really do that anymore. Ever since I started streaming, I think, because I'm getting it all out of my system now. Um, Let's see, Eileen, what's up? Good morning. Pat says, if it runs and collapses this chain, I'm putting it on the record that I'm getting a Clover tat on my Oh man. I don't know about the location, but I think I said something similar to my wife not too long ago. Like, if we get this for sure, if it happens before next week, just because I'm holding some options and stuff, I was like, I'll go get another tattoo. I'm gonna get a Clover somewhere. Um, we need to get more media attention on how shorted the stock is, shorted over 50%. I think it's coming. I mean, I had said this earlier in the stream. For anyone who's just joining too, normally I start like right now at 6. This is the second day I started at 5. I don't know if this is going to be a thing that I continue to do. But there was people on, and I'm always up. Like, shit, a lot of times I wake up at 4 in the morning just on my own. So starting at 5 is nothing. I'm already up. I already had some coffee. Um, but maybe I got to change it in the schedule, or I'll put it out there. But there's a good possibility I might be jumping on at 5 on Monday morning again. But anyways, yeah, I talked about that a little bit earlier in the stream, and it's like, it's not just CLOV, and I think that's good because, if anything, I feel like AMC's bringing the most attention. They're getting the most media attention. And I think it's just because they have a louder voice, because there's millions of shareholders, like legitimately millions of shareholders, retail shareholders in AMC. So they're doing a very good job of bringing the market manipulation to the forefront, getting it talked about on the news, getting it taught. Like, the AMC community is the largest retail community, I think. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it's the largest retail community out there. And it's getting talked about, right? You know, GameStop, there was congressional hearings about it. There still is. Gary Gensler's talking about it right now. Dark pool abuse was trending recently. Charles Payne has been talking about it. So it's going on. And I think that, we're building our community. The bigger our community becomes, and the more we speak out, um, I think it's getting there. I think it's trending in the right direction. I think we're going to see some interesting changes in the market. Does that mean people are going to go to jail for breaking the law? Does that mean that, these hedge funds are going to go bankrupt or anything like that? I don't know. But I think there'll be some changes. I really do think there'll be changes. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, maybe even a year from now, we'll look back. And I think there'll be some systematic changes, with the way our stock market, maybe with the way that retail receives data, how payment for order flow works, maybe some more regulations on dark pools, because dark pools are there to serve a purpose, but not the purpose they're being used for. Um, you know, I don't think dark pools will ever go away, but there might be something to it. Maybe I have no idea. Maybe there's one dark pool and that's it. And, it's monitored by an organization that'll allow it to be discreet, but you got to file before you go in so that they know what your intentions are and why you're selling in there. And it's not to manipulate a stock. It's for what the original intention was for, was so that bigger institutions can, like get in and out of a position without manipulating the stock. Because if I wanted to buy 1 million shares and I try to do it on the open market and my intentions are good, I don't want to, you know, pump the stock up buying my 1 million shares, and or if I own 10 million shares and I only want to sell 100,000 of them, I don't want to tank the stock because I still own all these shares. I'm still long on the company, so I can go into the dark pool and release some. But that's what it's intended for. But just like everything else, it gets manipulated. I do think that we'll see some changes in the market, but I'm sure even with that, you know, um, shady people are going to find shady ways to continue to manipulate stocks. That's just the way. That's human nature. That's the way the world works. That's the way greed works. So even though I'm confident we're going to see changes in the stock market after all this, I mean, this has been a crazy year, and a lot of it's being brought to the forefront, like I said. But even though we're going to see changes, there'll always be loopholes. There'll always be someone that'll figure out a way to screw over the little guy and take advantage of stuff. Chef Daddy's in the house. What's up? Genetic Nate, good morning. Anyone seen Marathon this week? I don't know if you're talking about Tarheel's marathon that he had on Wednesday, like the marathon, or if you're talking about the marathon from Discord. Um, I don't know. I want to say I saw Marathon in Tarheel's chat on Wednesday. Could be wrong. Okay, you guys are talking about the marathon. Let's see. Pat said had a bunch of wish and bail. Good for you. I'm glad you got out early. We need to get rid of the meme narrative. Damn these journalists. Yeah, I mean, I think it works both ways, right? I mean, there's gonna be investors that aren't gonna want to get into a stock because it's a meme, you know. But then we're also gonna see so a lot of people may not take the stock seriously because of that, right? But then you also have a lot of people that are going to jump into this stock because it's a meme too. But I guess it comes down to like, are the people that are going to jump in because it's a meme short-term money that's just looking for a pump and dump? If that's the case, yeah, you don't really want those type of investors. Like I was into CLOV before it was a meme. I feel like, but I know a lot of people got in later and they found this stock because it's a meme, and now they're long-term holders, um, because they've learned about the stock and now they realize how disruptive it can be, and that it's a hyper growth stock, and of the potential, which is I found CLOV, um, based off the option chain, that I thought there was going to be a gamma squeeze, and the gamma squeeze at the time in April didn't happen. But then after I found it, I mean, I wasn't a bag holder. I didn't even own any shares. It was kind of like, anyone who's familiar, I had that ATLS play recently where I bought some short dated calls. It didn't work out, so I don't own any stock in ATOS anymore, but I started learning about it and I like the company now, as I was, just invested in it for that small period of time. But that's how I came across CLOV. And then I ended up staying in. Then I ended up like, oh, okay, I like this. The Clover Assistance what really caught my eye, and it was like, okay, I like this, the opportunity there. See it as a hyper growth stock. And even at the time then, I didn't think it was going to be a short squeeze play. I just thought, shit, I like this stock to get in for, you know, triple digits. I'll hold this for a while, and just see where it goes. And then it kind of, all this other stuff just started happening. So I think, it being a meme does attract new investors, but it also scares people away too. There's some people that are afraid of the volatility. Um, and whether or not it's a meme, referred to as a meme or not, we're going to see that volatility anyways, because the stock is so damn highly manipulated. And I don't think that CLOV is being manipulated because of its meme status either. I think that the CLOV became a meme because it was manipulated because of the high short interest. I hope that makes sense. Um, I think that a lot of the people that are short Clove are for other nefarious reasons. That's just my take. I think they've been attacking the stock either because it started as a SPAC, because they're attacking Chamath, and also maybe because they're long on some of the larger competition that Clove has. That's just my take. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the meme narrative just, it scares people away too. So hedge funds shorting on lit market, buying black through dark pools. When retail buys, they make it a FTD, so they don't pay cost of ball fee. But when they get caught, they will have shorted on the bottom. Yeah, I mean, I think I understand that last sentence, but yeah, it's like they shorted the stock at the bottom, and so now they're underwater, right? Like think of it this way: if you take on a bunch of FTDs today, an FTD today at, let's just say 876, that's where we're trading right now, and now all of a sudden the stock organically just grows to 950 or 10. In 21 days from now, you got to come up with those shares. Now you're losing money. You got to buy them back for $10 or 950 or whatever it's trading at. Okay, so you kick the can down the road. You pay a fee to have someone else take on your short position, or whatever, or whatever it may be, so that you can get out of it. And really you're just pushing it off another 21 days. Well, in 21 days, let's say the stock is trading at 11. Well, now you just lost even more money. Like, all they're doing is pushing it down and making it more difficult, because the stock is not going down. We've seen that 8 is the bottom, and it's like anyone who's shorting this stock right now is going to be screwed when it goes up. And don't get me wrong, there's people who shorted this stock at 28, 22, 18 on the way down, and they're not feeling any pain right now. They're not getting forced out of this anytime soon. But the people who are shorting it right now, it's not going any lower. We've seen there's institutions coming in willing to buy this stock yesterday, the day before that. Like, we have the support at 8. Thomas, what's up? Thomas is in the house. Clovis is here. Clovis Frank, I think the hedge funds need to make their short position work out because they are more afraid to lose reputation than money. Clove goes really high and they are forced to cover. Yeah, that's part of it too, right? Because at the end of the day, like hedge funds, they're managing other people's money, right? So I don't know why my neck's hurting today. I don't know if it's like the position of my mic or the way I'm sitting or what. But yeah, I mean, they're managing other people's money. Millionaires, billionaires, whoever, they're coming in and they just give their money to this hedge fund and say, hey, I want you to take care of my money. I want you to, give me this return on investment or whatever. And when they're telling their clients and talking about that Clove's going to go to zero and it's a company that's going to go bankrupt and all this other stuff, and they end up being wrong, and all of a sudden Clove's trading at 50. And I'm not talking about a quick spike. I'm talking about, we're legitimately trading at $50 or $30 or wherever this stock ends up, let's say 6 months from now. Yeah, that's kind of a black eye on them, right? I mean, then their clients might pull their money and say, man, I'm not trusting you. You were dead wrong about that stock. So yeah, I think the reputation has a lot to do with it too. Thomas saying, will the wish money come into Clove? I saw some people talking about that on Twitter, right? But what ends up happening more often than not, and I'm just being completely honest, like, even I know there's a lot of people in the Clove community that bought in and became bag holders, but then seriously, I mean, it is what it is. And then because they bought it during the last run up, and then they were like, shit, do I sell? What do I do? Do I sell for a loss? Is this stock going to zero? And then they started finding out all the great news about this stock and the long-term potential. And then they became investors, right? By accident. And so then they continued, people average down. people ended up buying more, bringing down their cost average as they continued to find out about this stock and believe in this stock. So I guess what I'm getting at is if you put it into perspective, right? Like let's say you bought into Wish and you thought Wish was going up to 25 and now it's trading at 650, or what is it at 692 right now? Are you going to sell for a loss, a 30% loss, and move your money into another play? I mean, I guess if you knew, right? If you've been getting educated about it and you did the research and you realize that, Clove's at its bottom right now, or do you just hold on to your Wish and cost average in? I don't know what people would do, you know. I don't know anything about Wish. I mean, is there research out there that supports it going to 20 from here? Because if there is, and I was kind of holding some Wish bags right now, maybe I don't sell for a loss. Maybe I bring my cost average down. But I don't know anything about that stock. But that's why I don't know. I mean, I've been seeing so much talk about Wish money's coming over to Clove, but most people in Wish are probably down at least 30% right now if they just got in recently. So I don't know if they're gonna sell for a loss or move their money over. Um, Mike says happy Friday. Let's hope for some greens. Zeke's in the house. What's up? Mike says love your options change explanations. Yeah, I'm trying to do damn, I must be hella far behind because I just see Chef Daddy's response right now to something I said I think a half hour ago. Let me try to catch up on this stuff. But nah, Mike, so I've been doing those chalk talks and I want to continue to go into the option chain and see what, but I've been running out of time recently, but I'm going to do one on volatility today, what historical volatility and what implied volatility is in relation to options. I've kind of been, planning that one out. Um, I don't want to forget either. I just looked out of the corner of my eye and VIH hit 10.05 real quick in pre-market, and now it's back down to 9.98. But Dan, if you're out there watching, I think maybe we might have something interesting happening today on VIH. Let's see. Um, Thomas says, how relevant is the Fintel data? Just because there's zero shares available doesn't mean they haven't been used. No, that's a great point, Thomas. And then you also got to realize that, like Fintel, they're only reporting some data, right? Just like how Ortex is only reporting some data and how iBorrowDesk is only reporting some data. So, yeah, it's you're still not getting the whole picture. We still don't see everything. So if there's zero shares available on Fintel, one, they could be borrowed and haven't been used yet. They might be saving them to hit us at the open or later on. But two, there still might be 10 million shares available somewhere else that we don't have access to seeing. CC, what's up? Good morning. Coach, what did you say about Robinhood potentially coming in and lifting this pre-market? Yeah, so I must be hella behind, but yeah, there's 6 a.m. So at 6 a.m., you see that pump, and that's when the Robinhood traders are able to come in. And Dave, by the way, or that's Trenton that said it. I thought that for some reason, I thought that was Dave. I don't know if you're out there, Dave, but what's up, Trenton? Uh, let's see. KLF says, let's start early every day. I'll keep doing it. Um, Coach, you own ADA, Cardano crypto flying the last few days. Nah, the only crypto I own right now is XRP. Um, okay, I already covered some of that Wish stuff a little while ago. Co-creator, what's up? Co-creator, so I went early again today. I started at 5. I'm like an hour and a half in. I was just saying a little while ago, I may keep doing this if people keep jumping on. I'm down to keep doing it because I'm always up. Let's see. I'm gonna start skipping above some of these. We're almost at market open right now, and I'm hella behind. JJ, what's up? Good morning. Um, the S&P 500 that's what I got. So you guys that are watching too, I should say. So this is Clove right here, GameStop up top, S&P 500, and I think I have Wish up right now. I'm gonna check and just see. Oh God, AMC's getting hammered hard right now. I'm gonna put that up real quick. Damn. And there was the bell. All right, let me try to catch up on this chat while we watch this opening bell real quick. Jason, what's up? Good morning, Jason. Thanks for joining. Steve Henry, what's up? Good morning. Yeah, I saw Scotty just said he saw Marathon on Tarheels yesterday. Yeah, I think it was Wednesday, but yeah, I saw him in the chat in there too. Mike says Gary Gensler seems to be more focused on crypto than the stock market. Nah, he made some comments though about what happened with GameStop and what's going on with retail traders and all that. And yeah, I'm hella late in the chat. I see you guys talking. Let's see. I'm gonna keep skipping ahead. Coach, you should add a bunch more mods like Tarheel Blue did. So I added Lisa this morning. And yeah, there was a couple more that I talked to that I was gonna add. Volume right now we're at 1.8 million, not nearly as high as yesterday, but not bad. Oh, Dave is in here. What's up, Dave? Hedge funds hate Chamath because of the GME squeeze. Yeah, I agree with that too. Okay, so Fluffer's in here. What's up, Fluffer? Good morning. See, Fluffer's going to be one of the mods too. I think she said that yesterday. So let me see if I can go in here and I'll take care of that real quick. Let's see here. I hate being behind in the chat too because I feel like I'm missing out. There's Fluffer right there. Let me see. Add moderator. Okay, I think I'm good now. Floria, good morning. What's up? Who else? Michael P. Oh, co-creator says not calling off work today. So, funny story. So yesterday I had this cough, right? And not a cough, I'm sorry. My head was hurting and I was a little congested. So I called in sick. And I was then told last night that I need to go get a negative COVID test before returning to work. So yeah, I think, just because of state of California and, working in yeah, I can't go back to work. I was like, man, I'll go to Walgreens right now and go get one of those quick tests and take it so I can come back to work tomorrow. And they're like, nah, you need to go get a legit COVID test and come back with the negative results before you can come into work. So I feel great today. I feel like I absolutely can go into work today, but I got to go get a test and then wait for the results. So yeah, I'm off today now and Monday. I would imagine Monday. Chad says, should we expect some big movement next week with heavy calls on the 16th and 20th? Yeah, the 20th expiration is there, but I mean, Max Payne's a number that they've been able to kind of pin us to, right? Depending on how today goes, let's say we close today closer to above 9, above 10, that's just getting us closer and closer to kind of that gamma squeeze territory. But then at the same time, I mean, they've calls mean nothing unless we can get the price above them, right? We need to get the price moving above that Max Payne. And I mean, we've had some success recently, this week especially. We've been trending in the right direction. I mean, I know today we're not at $10 where we were in pre-market yesterday, but yesterday was still like a 10% gain, right? Like if you zoom out and look at like the weekly view, I mean, we're up huge right now on the week. Yeah, we were here all the way up here at 980, but that's still a significant jump from like $8 to 880. That's a 10% gain right now on the week. So if we just got to zoom out and put things into perspective. But yeah, to answer your question, I mean, we do have the potential for a big move today or next week. And I think if it doesn't happen next week, I think the option chain will just continue to get loaded up. I mean, that's something that I've been seeing since I got into this stock is there are some major players that are um, waiting on a big move for this. There's some big money that's getting thrown into this stock, that's or into the options chain that's just waiting for us to pop so they can profit off it and leverage. Um, do you think it will go back up for Clove? Yeah, I think we'll start moving upwards. Happy Friday the 13th, coach. Today it is Friday the 13th, huh? I didn't even realize that. I got to make sure and tell my kids. They'll probably get a kick out of that. We're going to play the role of Jason or the campers today. Oh, man. Yeah. Norden, what's up? Good morning. Co-creators talking about 1.7 million volume in the first 5 minutes or so. Yeah, it looks like two. I know I'm behind. 2.1 million in this 5 minute candle. We're now on the second candle, and we're already at 500,000. What 1 minute in? So volume starting to pick up. I mean, yeah, we went down and touched 850, but again, we found that support, and um, that's another significant number when you look at the options chain, right? So if we take a look at, just for this week, at 850, 9,000 calls are in the money. Ooh, puts are actually outweighing now. Yeah, we got to be above 850 for sure. So market makers right now want to keep us below 9, above 850. Being above 850 actually benefits the market makers more right now. So that's where they're going to want to be at. But we want to get above 9. That's where we want to be at. So Fluffer, yeah, I added you. I don't know if you could tell, or maybe you gotta wait until you type something. Then you'll see that little blue wrench. Let's see. Austin says my VAH calls are up 17,000% at the open. No shit. What's mine at? Oh, I'm not up 17,000%, but that's good shit. Good stuff, Austin. Just be careful. The one thing I'll say with this is, if you try to go in and sell those at 17,000%, let me pull this up too, just to see what you're talking about. Because I've made this mistake in the past, and this is for anybody. Always pay attention to the spread, right? So VIH September 17th, 1250 calls. The ask is $15. The bid is $5. If you go in there right now and try to sell with a market open or market order, you're going to get 5 cents, and you're going to be pissed because you missed out on 15 cents. That's a huge difference. uh so from 5, I mean, that's 3 times the amount. So if I was going to sell right now, and I'm not telling you to sell, but if I was going to sell right now, either put in a limit at 15 if that's what you want, put in a limit sell, or maybe put a limit sell in at 10 cents so that you at least get 10. You might get more. Just be careful with it, because there's a lot of low liquidity in there. The volume is not high at all, and I mean, some of these don't even have bids. So you want to definitely be doing this with when you sell these, you want to be selling with limit orders, not market orders. That's a nice green candle right there. Wow. Christo says I caught COVID. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me see what some of our support and one thing. And I mean, yeah, I know how to do all the little nice drawings and stuff like this. But one thing I noticed with TRADYTICS, you know what? Since we got all this volume, let's go 1 minute too. Let's see. There we go. Get some 1 minute candles for a little bit and see how that works. And then we can kind of see how much volume's coming in on them too. With this TRADYTICS, I know I keep talking about it, and you know how great I think this software is and everything else. But one cool thing that I noticed on here is, not to take away from but I saw someone said, where's the support lines and all that. So they've got this thing where you can go like support and resistance, and it just draws them up here, right? And this is obviously for a daily chart, but this is telling us that we're going to see support level at 927. That's probably going to end up being a resistance level for us on the way up right now if we are to break through. Um, and then you could change the time frames. I can go 5 minutes and go, okay, show me the support and resistance lines. And now we could see that we're going to see some resistance at 914. We're going to see support at 876. I mean, all this stuff just gets drawn in for you. I could, check out different, all right, on a 15-minute candle, 908 is going to be another resistance level. 873 is another, so there's so much cool stuff, and I don't want to be covering up the charts, but I'm really, the more I play around with this TRADYTICS, I mean, it's like I can go in and draw those lines. I've been doing it for years, but I mean, to be able to just click those up like that immediately, shit. I mean, you can't beat that. It's definitely worth the money. The more I look into this, um, and I've been using it to get options data. Um, I started playing around yesterday, like tracking to see, because they actually have something where they give you plays. Like it'll legitimately tell you, alert you, and say you should buy this right now. This is looking good, and it's like, wow, okay. So I've been looking at that and kind of like going back after hours and looking at the charts and saying, okay, well, they alerted this stock at this point. What would have happened if I would have bought this? Like would I have made out? All that kind of stuff. So I've been watching it, and I'm probably start making some videos explaining how all the software in there works too, if anybody's interested in that. Just because I learned through doing this stuff too. Like me sitting up here talking about it, talking about anything, makes me master it more. And so, um, because I want to learn TRADYTICS, I want to start making TRADYTICS videos. And I actually watched a video last night, and I think someone called it trade. I don't know. They didn't pronounce it the same way I do, but whatever. I like saying TRADYTICS. All right. Let's see. Um, David says it was meant to be, coach. Don't fight the no work. You know what? That's what my neighbor was telling me too. He's like, "Oh, you're lucky. You're gonna be off work now for, you know, X amount of days or whatever." And it's from what I was told, it's paid and doesn't count against my sick leave, because they're making me stay home. But the hard part is, it's like school just started, and so like now I have a class who doesn't have any assignments, doesn't have any direction. They don't have. I haven't started teaching in there yet, and that makes me feel kind of bad. Like, definitely if this was the second week of school or the third week of school and they were already kind of rolling on an assignment, it'd be a lot different. But I, believe it or not, like I wanted to go into work today. I really did. I got too much stuff to kind of get started with my classroom. Um, so yeah, but always nice to stay home too and get paid for it. Let's see. We're battling on the 1 minute chart. Yeah, that's why I hate looking at 1 minutes. I don't know. I'm not because you're saying we're battling on it, but just because it's so volatile. That's why, like, when we're sitting here talking and stuff, I feel like the 1 minutes is too damn stressful. If you guys would rather see it, we could always put it on. I don't mind. Um, the volatility doesn't bother me. I feel like I'm way past it and I'm immune to it. But if you guys would rather watch the 1 minute, I could put the 1 minute up for sure. And just leave some. Maybe I'll do a poll on that on my community tab on my YouTube, and that way everybody can actually vote. You know, actually, I think I could do a poll during. Let me try that out. We're gonna try that. Let me catch up in the chat. The $2 price change may have started the cough. Snow Dog says Coach B had COVID. COVID test unavailable until September. You need to be. Let's see. Yeah, co-creator says we're down 3%. Daddy said it sounds like you got a little mini vacation. Stars in the house. Good morning. Could you explain why 850 is a number that market makers want to be above? Yeah, so when you look at options expirations, right? Oh, we're on VAH. Let me pull up Clove. Okay. So a market maker who's selling calls and selling puts, right? They're basically like a casino. They're they're playing both sides. They're just gonna. You want to buy stock, they'll sell it to you. You want to sell stock, they'll buy it from you. You want to buy calls, they'll sell them to you. Like they're just trying to make money on both sides. When you look at the entire option chain that expires today, you have 9,300 people who have calls at the 850 strike, but there's 10,000 people who have puts at the 850 strike. So if they can get this stock to finish the day at $8.51, yeah, these 9,000 calls are going to go in the money, but they're offset by these 10,000 puts that aren't going to be in the money. So now the market maker stands to make more money off all these puts that are going to expire worthless over here on the right. These are all going to expire worthless. But now when you come to the $9 strike, 18,000 calls would go in the money over $9 compared to 4,000 puts. So now it's like it behooves them to keep the price under 9. So from a market maker standpoint, they want to be right in the middle. They want everybody over here to lose money and everybody over here to lose money. And that's where they'll stand to gain the most. That's what that max pain number is every week. Oh, I just saw a co-creator's comment. He said, keep the 1 minutes on in the first 20 minutes. I tend to agree with that too, just because it's too hard to kind of see. Like when you look over here at this action, it's like you can't really tell what's going on. I agree with that. Ego's in the house. Good morning. Flutter said, Lego my ego. That's funny. Narwhal, what's up? Bye. Norden says, do you have to pay for it? Yeah. I want to say it's like $40 a month. But if there's a link in the description, Champion Vibe hooked me up with the I think it was the owner. And so they give like 10% off if you click that link in the description. And then I think I get like 10% off of my next month or something like that. But yeah, it's like $40. But if you wanted to try it out, it's like $7 for the first 7 days. But the only thing I would recommend is if you don't know that you're going to use it as much, make sure when you start your little free trial for $7 that you have the time to really dig into it and do the research. Like for me, I did it and I didn't play around with it nearly as much as I should have, but I ended up liking it anyways. But I'd hate for someone to go, use that $7 and do the 7-day free trial or whatever it is, and you didn't get a chance because you were too busy. Maybe you're on vacation, whatever the hell's going on. And it's like, now you're stuck making a decision of like I was, where it's like, oh, I guess I'm paying $40 now. Pablo, what's up? What's going on? Good morning. Pablo said William needs a timeout. Yeah, I haven't been putting Williams comments up there because they little negative, not spreading the positive vibes this morning. Pat says I was using TradingView, loved the interface. I didn't like TradingView. I think it was is TradingView the app that I was using for my charts? I think it is. Yeah, if it is, I didn't like it because I didn't like the pre-market. I felt like I wasn't getting accurate data in pre-market. That was the only complaint I had on TradingView. But other than that, I really liked it. So when I first started streaming, I was using TradingView because my computer was too damn slow to use this Thinkorswim app. And then I switched to Webull because I hated the TradingView pre-market. But now I got my baby back. I'm on Thinkorswim and I'm loving it. Um, Let me see. Oh yeah, so Lisa, yeah, that's why I said, Lisa, I'm gonna make some videos just so everyone could kind of see and really like break it down and explain to people how this stuff works. But yeah, so on that same screen we were on, like I just drew in these lines, right? I didn't draw them in. I just clicked the button, so, support and resistance. But if here, let's clear this. I'll go to a 5 minute chart. Okay, now you can come in here and say, okay, show me Bollinger Bands, and you could zoom in to a certain level. You could say, show me some trend lines, and it'll show you, it'll draw in trend lines that it sees, you know. Um, you could really, I mean, there's just so much stuff. Change it to an hourly. Okay, so on an hourly level, let me take the Bollinger Bands back off. Here, let me clear this. I'm gonna clear this completely. Hmm. It won't take my Bollinger Bands off now. I got to figure that out. But anyways, I can come over here and say, okay, how are we trending on a 1 minute or a 1 hour? And then look back and see that it's drawing this in for me. Um, I even saw. I mean, there's just so much stuff. You could sit here, entry and exit points. It'll go in and show you where it would have given a buy signal or a sell signal. Again, support and resistance levels. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I think I broke it. Uh, but there's so much stuff in there, and it's like kind of like I said, like I learn by talking, and me explaining it and showing it to other people is just gonna make me learn even more about it. That's the way I feel about it. So it's like, you know, um, I was thinking about it last night. Like I'm gonna start making some videos about this, um, just more so just so I could learn on my own. And who knows, maybe there's some people out there like me or like Lisa that have a subscription to this that would like to find videos on it. There are some videos on YouTube, but a lot of them are like hard to understand. Maybe it's just the I don't know. So I don't know. I'm gonna do it, and if people watch them, cool. If not, it'll just help me learn. I honestly don't give a shit if I make a video and it only has five views on it. It is what it is. I mean, that's how this channel started. I was making videos that I was literally just sending to like my 10 friends that I talk stocks with, and my videos would just sit there with 10 views. And then all of a sudden they started getting more views, and I was like, "What the hell? Who the hell's watching this?" Um, all right, let's see. 3.5 million volume in 15 minutes. Nothing to laugh at. Yeah. I mean, shit, we're at 9 million now. But yeah, Thomas, you're absolutely right. I mean, the volume is there. We just, kind of like yesterday, we kind of hit that bottom. We're grossly oversold right now. I would imagine we'll turn this around. And we saw a lot of support. I mean, look at this push up right here coming off 850. Um, Not a lot of resistance over here, but I would imagine that 850 is a strike that we'll start to see some resistance at, and then 9 is going to be the big one. I would love to see us push past 9 today. I saw a poster. I was walking down the hallway of my school, and one of the science teachers had this poster off or up, and it said, there's like do you see the glass half empty or half full? And it said, I always see the glass full, and then it said half air, half water. Um, I thought that was really cool. I don't know where I was going with that, but I had never really heard that one before, and I thought it was pretty interesting. But I kind of feel like that's how I am too, right? I'm a realist. I understand. I always look at um, both sides, and I kind of, I understand that there this could happen, but this also could happen. But I'm always optimistic. I guess that's what I'm getting at. Um, Oh, look at Pablo coming in, loading up. 1,000 more shares. I like it. Some interesting DD on FTDs on Reddit by Societe Pesos. I don't know. I'll check that out. I haven't got a chance to look through. I went to bed early last night. Um, didn't read anything on Reddit. Really anything. Let's see. Zeke's asking, is there still a gap to be filled? We closed at 9:01 yesterday, and yes, we only came up and hit 890 this morning. So there's still a gap. So if we go to the daily view real quick, yeah. So this is where we opened today. This is where we closed yesterday. That was a significant gap right there. You know, but yeah, we still got some ways to go. This is where we want to get. This is where the stock would try to get to, would be like 902 to fill that gap, right? So yeah, still a gap to fill. All right. SRT wants to know where you getting a $8,000 check at, Pablo. Uh, let's see. Tom says I'm new to the stock market. My mind's blown that they're so low after Q2 earnings. Yeah, and it may be one of those things too where a lot of this suppression's because of the options chain, and they're gonna do everything in their power to keep us down until following the August 20th expiration, and then just let us run. Who knows? But yeah, it's not normal. I just realized that GameStop was on. There we go. Good morning, Christina. What's up? Are we gonna see green today? I sure as hell hope so. I mean, we were up 10% yesterday, so you know, I mean, sometimes that stuff happens too, right? Like you just don't want to give it all back. Again, I'll go to this daily. We were over here. We went up. We kind of went down, but we were still up from the day before. Bounced off, came way up here, and now we're finding this new base. And we'll continue to kind of maybe even trade sideways, and then find a new height, and then come down, and I mean that's normal growth. And if we can start creating new bases as we stair step up, we'll be absolutely fine. Um, and I'm not just I'm not saying that you don't think we would be, Christina. I'm just looking at some of the other comments in the chat, and it's like I really don't think there's any need for negativity at all. I mean, this stock is trending in the right direction. We got the volume uh, pouring back into it. We had a huge gain yesterday. Let me, coming off the day before after earnings, and we're still trading higher than we were on Monday, and that's what's important. Um, Big Daddy Roro Skywalker, what's up? Skywalker says Altrades found the exact same thing, made a video about it a while back. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is you guys are talking about, but I'll go check it out afterwards. Holiday option. Good morning. Um, Big C says I don't think Clover will be on sale too much longer. Buy the dip, absolutely. Alexander Vale says Weeble has the best free interface. I don't know. I mean, Thinkorswim's free too. Um, I mean, you could even, you don't even have to trade on Thinkorswim. You could just buy this or sign up for an account and not even deposit money and get access to all this stuff. And there's a ton of. I feel like there's more in Thinkorswim, but I also feel like I didn't give Webull a full. I was biased from the beginning. This morning's post is more about the lag from the peak of the FTDs to share price. Okay. Bob C says, "Hey coach, love your videos along with Tarheel, Ghost, Target Short Sellers, Trade, Champion Vibe, and all the others. Thank you for all you guys do. Now, and we appreciate you guys coming in, really, and that's why. That's at least just speaking for me and Tarheel. I know that's why we're doing it. People are coming on, and me and him were talking yesterday about how awesome it is that we kind of have this community now, and I know I've mentioned it before too, but it's so cool to see, like, on Wednesday, all the support for the marathon stream he had, and how, like yesterday I stayed on a little bit longer, and then he started his stream right when I finished, and everyone kind of transitioned over, and it's just a really cool feeling to see the support that we've been getting, especially with, like, there's so many. I feel like, I go on YouTube now and search CLOV, and there's maybe 20, 30 people talking about CLOV. And, I remember a time where it felt like for the longest time it was just me. And I know that's not the truth. I know there was other people covering it too, but that's really, I would search in CLOV on YouTube, and it'd be like all my old videos coming up, like back in like April and May, and now there's so many people, but that it's also very, very, very awesome to see the support and that you guys have been sticking with us. So really appreciate it. Oh, SRT, right on. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. SRT did a super chat. Thank you, man. I appreciate you too. You know what's crazy? So, funny story, and I'm not just saying this. You guys know I said last Friday, I think I said on Monday, I got my wallet stolen after the stream on Friday. My truck had got broken into. So I canceled all my accounts, all this kind of stuff. But anyways, I went on your stream last night and I was going to do a super chat. I'm like, you know what? Let me go in here and do a super chat. I've never done one before, and I'd rather give you my money than give it to Tarheel. So I'm like, I'm going to do a super chat for SRT. And then it asked me for a credit card. I'm like, oh, shit, I don't have a credit card yet. It hasn't came in the mail. So I couldn't do it, but I owe you one, man. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I know it's not, I got a couple people did some super chats yesterday, and I got some. So I really, everyone who's been supporting the channel, if you have, I appreciate it. I know I'll thank people as soon as it happens and everything, but once I do cash that out, I'm just gonna go in and put it into something else. I've been looking around into other software and other stuff that I could do to kind of make the stream better, make the channel better, all that kind of stuff, and I really appreciate it. Holistic Judith, what's up? Good morning. What's funny? I got a funny story about that too. So yesterday, Holistic Judith put something in the chat, like asking Ghost, like, hey, is your something about your license plate? Hey, is Ghost license plate something is Ghost? And I kind of ignored it because I'm like, damn, I wonder if she knows Ghost. She's trying to like dox him right now or something. And I was tired and I wasn't paying attention to it. Then I seen you put the same exact thing in the chat about Pablo on Tarheel's thing, and then I read it and I'm like, oh shit, it was a joke, and I then I got mad, like I should have just read it out, but I didn't get it when I first read it, and I'm like, damn, I don't know. Anyways, that's just me being dumb. Great education tab on the Ameritrade website with great videos. Yeah, no, I've looked through a ton of that. It's actually right here. So I don't know if you got it's right here, education. So when you're in the Thinkorswim app, you can come over here to education, and now there's so much stuff. Thinkorswim, technical analysis. I mean, you click in here, there's videos. I mean, so they've got like a whole slew of stuff in here. And I mean, I've been watching for years. Like I've been trading on this thing for a long time, and that's why I'm so, like comfortable in here, because I've watched a lot of those videos in the past. And then whenever I've had questions, I can go back and reference. And I mean, I love Thinkorswim. I think it's the most powerful software um, out there for like someone who's trading. There's just so much. The only thing I don't like about Thinkorswim, and it could be that I just haven't taken the time to figure it out. I know I've said this before. I don't like their level two. I like Weeble's level two better. I like Charles Schwab's level two better. I don't know. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But let's see here. Co-creator says time for a turnaround. Fluffer says looks like we have a couple new institutions, one bounced and one new put. Let's see. Let's look it up. Um, so 813. This is starting reporting from here. Looks like FMR LLC 44 million. Vanguard 9 million. Huh. Hold up. Let me look at that, because Vanguard already had. So this is just a new filing. So Vanguard with 9.5. And if we look up here, current share is 9.5. Yeah. I don't get that. I know someone else was saying just look at the green ones. These are older reporting forms that maybe just show a little bit of change in something else, but I don't know. So 7-8 Capital, 109,000 shares. UBS Group came in with an additional 44,000 in calls. Cube Research and Technologies, 168,000. I think I saw them yesterday too on here. So that mean they bought more. And then Crown and Company, 35,000 puts. But it's showing up as green, so it could be that they sold puts too. Could be. I'd have to look into that. I don't take my word for it, but that's showing green, which usually dictates like a bullish position. I think, like these puts right here is showing up as red. So I believe, unless I'm looking at this wrong, that let me see if there's something down here like a legend. No. So I think because that's green, it could be that they sold puts, and selling puts is a bullish play. That means you want the stock to go up. Clovis Frank says, I see Luke. Damn, I'm hella behind then. If you're talking about something, I said that hella long ago. Coach, are you part Cherokee? No, I'm just Sicilian. Let's see. Alexander says, Coach, we are getting hammered right now. Holistic Judith, enjoy watching Coach yesterday morning, and then Tarheel and Pablo in the afternoon. Christo says, trust the process. It's been proven to work with GameStop and AMC. Yeah, we just gotta hold on. We're due for another one. And I think AMC and GameStop are too. I mean, as long as there's manipulation going on, at some point it's bound to pop if you're willing to sit in there and hold it. But I just think holding Clover right now at these prices is much safer than holding some other stocks. But I think they're gonna pop too. Ooh, I haven't even been looking at the market today. AVXL's on another big day, up 4%. And that's after being up, I think, 8% yesterday. So pretty interesting stuff. Let's see here. Oh wow, Target short seller says SPCE went down some more after Richard Branson offloads 10.5 million shares. Damn. Christina says, I'm going nowhere. We'll take some profits in the first round, but definitely in this till 2023. Yeah, I think it's somewhere we're going to be in even longer. Take on the KeyBank call. When will the analyst come back with his target? I don't know. I mean, I think some of these analysts are kind of chicken shit, so to speak. They've even going off the old stuff, they were putting in these low ass targets really to help suppress the price. That's my take on it. But we might see some analysts doing some turnaround, but I mean they're gonna want to do research and whatever it is that they do, plug in their numbers and all that. And I think we might usually you see adjusted price targets immediately after earnings, like the next day. And we haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen any adjusted price targets, but I think a lot of these analysts that have been, covering this stock have been given BS price targets anyways to help suppress the stock. So I don't know that we're necessarily going to see too much going in the other directions. Don't the hedge funds realize that all the paper hands are shook out already? Nobody that's still in selling anything. They can't keep paying interest on shorting forever. Absolutely. Let's see. D Worm's in the house. What's up, D Worm? What's going on? Hago says Tarheel Blue washed the damn dishes. Let's see. I'm just trying to catch up, guys. I know a lot of this conversation you guys are talking about SRT's channel and giving Tar Heel shit, so I'm gonna keep going through. I drove Zamboni, said I should have closed my August 20th $9 calls. It's early, man. It's early, but I feel you. I had some profit in mind yesterday too, but we still got some time. Seems like boring side trading, low volume, could be boring rest of the day. I'm assuming you meant day, co-creator. Let's see here. Max Payne is 850 today, Brett. So just to answer your question. All right. Co-creator says make your own account, Al. That's funny. I'm catching up with you guys in the since like SRT and Al know each other. That's awesome. Let's see. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to catch up, and I'm seeing hella negativity in the chat, so I'm not trying to put it on there. Leo, what's up? Good morning. I will say this too, like, and I feel like I can't say it enough. Like, we went up 10% yesterday. We're down 6% today. It is what it is. That's the stock market. We might end up going up 4% on Monday. And yeah, while we're not going to be at that peak of yesterday, we're moving in the right direction right now. I mean, no stock. I don't know what stock you could find, even if we pull up the Tesla or Amazon or anything like that, that just continuously just rips off green candles day after day after day after day after day. Like when you get a big run up, a 10% day, odds are you're going to follow with a red day the next day. I know it kind of sucks from the standpoint of, yeah, we have the opportunity to make some big moves right now with the option chain. But that opportunity still exists, even if we close today at what are we trading at right now? 840. But we also are in this oversold territory. So, think about, I'm just gonna go back right here and show you where we were at yesterday morning. Yesterday morning we were in this oversold territory, sitting at what, 861. And then we had our opportunities. RSI was low. We switched it up to green. We ended up coming up here and getting to 934. I mean, You just gotta, if and I'm not talking to anybody specifically. I just keep seeing these comments in the chat, and it's like, if it's so stressful watching the 5 minute charts or watching the minute charts and watching this type of stuff, sometimes just get up, walk away, go take a walk, relax, go stretch, smoke a cigarette, whatever you do to relax yourself. But like really, sometimes if it's becoming too stressful for you, just get up and walk around. But you got to be able to look at the big picture, right? Like if I put this on a let's see, like a 10-day chart, look where we were at. We were at 785, and yeah, we're coming up. We're here. I mean, we're still way up. This is where we're at currently. We're still sloping upwards, but that's what the stock market does. It goes up, comes down, goes up higher, comes down, goes up. I mean, it's just we're just stair stepping right now. Um, and we're getting manipulated. Gongsta Killer, what's up? Okay, this is 50% of my life is disappointing. 50% is about amazing moments. You choose what to focus on. Chad says, good or bad headline on BNGO yesterday. Why Clover stock looks poised to smack shorts. Well, that sounds good for me. But some of those headlines are BS too. I've seen headlines before, then you click into it and the article's hella negative, or I don't know, but that sounds like a pretty amazing headline to me. Let's see. Steve the Baker says 6% down so far is quite brutal. Yeah, nah, I'm with you. It is. SRT says we need to pitch in and send a maid to Tarheel Blues house so he can keep streaming and knocking on doors. Let's see. Looks like the gap will be filled. I hope so. We have that gap up at 9, so let's get up there and fill that shit. I'm ready. David Shaw, I wish we could play around the $10 range. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Yeah, the joke yesterday, Tendy for me. When I read it, so when I was streaming, I didn't get anything about what you were talking about. But when I went back and watched Tar Heels, then it was like, oh, that's what. Now I know you. Now I know you're a dude too. But I was like, that's what she was saying, because your name says Holistic Jude. So I'm like, okay. But it made sense to me later. Dave says, looks like the gap up from yesterday is trying to get filled technically too. You know what? I don't even. Let's see here. So yesterday we closed the day before here, then we closed here, and then we gapped up to here. Yeah, and it does look like we kind of filled that gap, and now potentially we'll we can run too. So yeah, that's a great point, Dave, that I overlooked for sure. Chef Daddy, holy crap. Things are getting crazy. Tony Bennett is retiring from performing. How old is Tony Bennett? He's got to be older than shit right now. Or is that I looked it up. 95 years old. Damn. Let me see. I'm trying to catch up, guys. Hey, I know I say this all the time too. I hope you guys already know it. I'm not intentionally like skipping over people's chats or anything like that. But sometimes I just get behind and I like to be able to talk about other things and stuff. So I'll just kind of like skim through real quick. So I try to like, really just have everybody's chats up there, but sometimes I can't. SRT says, Coach, could you explain what determines how it's calculated? What's it's based off? Oversold, undersold. So, let's see. Basically, I mean, I know what dictates that. So, like right here, this line, we're looking down here now. Let me move your comment out the way too. I'll put it up here. So you have these two lines on the RSI. You got 70 and 30, right? It's based on a scale of 0 to 100. And it's the relative strength index, and so I think it's relative to volume, price action, everything else. But we'll look that up right now and actually figure that one out together, because I know I read the definition a long time ago, but I'm not sure exactly what goes into it. But basically, whenever you end up getting below this 30 mark, it's saying that there's way too much selling going on based on the amount of volume and the price action that we're seeing. And so that's why you can expect, kind of a pullback at some point. And it also has to do with the time frame, right? Like right now we're on a 5-minute, but if we were to come to a 4-hour, we're not even close to the being oversold in the RSI, right? Like on a 4-hour chart, we're at 46. You look at a daily chart, we're at 45. Because shit, we're trending up right now on a day. Look at this daily chart. We're trending up. It is what it is. I mean, we're on our way up. We were down here trading flat at $8 for the longest time, and now we're trending up. So everything's still good. If you're holding this stock for the long term, yeah, it's fun to sit here and look at the, the 1 day, the 5-minute, and all this stuff. But, I mean, I'm not selling anything today. So, but anyways, so yeah, so we're down here in this oversold territory, but that's what it's based off of. But let me look up the actual what determines RSI. Let's see here. The RSI is calculated using average price gains and losses over a given period of time. Default time period is 14 periods with values bound from 0 to 100. May show reading. Okay, so basically over a given, so if it's 14 periods, then basically what we're looking at is average price gains and losses over a certain period. So if it's really trading at 14, that means it's the last 14 bars that it's looking at to gauge this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it'd be basing it off of from right here where this line is, basically off the last 14 bars on this 5-minute chart. And that's how it's gauging based off the price action, the volume, everything else that's going into it, that like, damn, the stock's getting oversold, or but it's one of those things where it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like a lot of this technical analysis and indicators that we look at, the only reason that a lot of times they work is because so many people are watching them, right? So you have so many traders that are sitting here looking at this RSI and they say, oh shit, we're in oversold territory. Now's the time to buy. Or, when you're over here, I don't know who's day trading in pre-market, but let's go back to right here. You look at like this is the other day. As soon as you get up here and now you're trading above on the RSI, people might start taking profits, and let it cool off, and then people will buy back in, and then it gets into the overbought, and then you have other levels, right? Like, okay, we get down to VWAP, I'm buying in, and now then you have some people who are trading based off other moving averages too, and that's where you see, but pretty much everyone's always looking at the RSI, so it's one of those things where when it says it's oversold, how many millions of people are looking at this and saying, hey, this stock's oversold, RSI said so. All right, I hope that answered your question. All right. Jeff says, hard to believe how shorts hate CLOV so much. Yeah, David, I was asking the same thing. I had to look it up, but it says Tony Bennett's still alive. He's 95 years old. It's freaking crazy. Um, do you ever use stochastic oscillators instead of RSI? Nah, I've always been on the RSI. I mean, I read a book one time that was called like a. It was like this. I forget what the actual. I still have the book. I'll go pull it up. It was a little short one too, like a little 30-page, kind of like and this dude was all about using those. And I think part of it is just using what works for you, right? And one of my faults is sometimes when something works, I won't try something new, and it could be that works better. Um, but it's just like like some people trade based off, um, the 90 MA. Some trade off the 20 SMA. That's the different moving averages and stuff. Some people just trade like this. Let me see. No VWAP, no nothing. They just put a couple moving averages in. Some people trade with nothing, no moving averages, and just look at bars. I mean, it really just it's whatever your style is. I don't think that one's right or one's wrong. But no, I haven't really messed with those. Um, do you know the underlying reason behind why we have to wait half a month to get failure to deliver data from SEC? No, I think that's one of those dumbass rules that are in place, that are helping create market manipulation. You know, it makes absolutely no sense. So, if data needs to get reported, there's no reason why. Just like how we get all this other data, what the short volume was on the day, how much dark pool activity there was, like that's all data that's readily available. At the end of today, there's going to be a failures to deliver count that the clearinghouse is going to have. That's going to be reported. Like, this person owes me this many shares. They didn't deliver them. This one, this. That should just be data that's sitting in a computer system. Like, publish that shit. I don't know why they don't. It doesn't make sense to me. It seems like it would make the markets way more efficient, even just from like a SEC standpoint. I mean, like they should have access. I'm sure I don't know if they do or not. But everybody should be able to see at the end of today how many FTDs were there. And I know it's not FTDs. I just like, I heard Pablo and Tarheel talking about that yesterday, the difference between, it's FTD, failures to deliver, not failure to delivers, FTDs. But when you abbreviate it, I like saying it that way. Um, Narwhal says the squeeze will happen right after you give up, so don't give up. I like that. Kevin said, "Can you go over the short volume yesterday? Heard 31 million. If true, how can that be after months of shorting? If shorts buy and sell every day, we should be higher than 850." So I got a couple things on that, and we are. So I am gonna have to sign off here in the next half hour. So I'm gonna try to catch up in the chat. And I actually have a special guest I'm gonna bring on too. So don't go anywhere. I think everybody is gonna enjoy this one, but let me see here. I'm just gonna text them real quick. All right, so um, looks like right here we got. I'm just gonna pull this up real quick because I did go over this a little bit earlier, but I will pull it up again. But there was, we saw a lot of volume yesterday. When you see that there was 31 million short volume, yeah, I think that's going to end up pulling up failure to delivers, because that means 31 million shares were shorted. But at the same time, Yeah, some of them could have been naked shorting, which would end up in in an FTD. But at the same time, let's say like I shorted here. Okay, so I'm right here. I'm a short. I'm a hedge fund. I short 50,000 shares. Bam. Gets down here. I cover those 50,000. Now I come in here. I short another 50,000. Gets down here. I cover those 50,000. Short, cover, short, cover. Like just day trading the stock. That all counts as shares too. So it doesn't necessarily mean that there's 31 million new shares into the market like that. I'm just being realistic. Like that's people selling the shares, buying them back, selling the shares, buying them back, selling them, buying them back too. Um, but with that type of volume, I would imagine that, yeah, we also see there was probably a ton of naked shorting going on as well. But that's the problem with this market is we don't really know. Getting back to that previous question about why we can't see FTD data right away. If all of a sudden we had that access to that and we could say, okay, 31 million short volume and shit, based off the numbers we have access to, maybe there's like 5 million shares available still to short. Okay, there you go. There was 15 million FTDs yesterday. Then it starts to make sense. But they don't give us access to that data until what? We're going to see it like 20 days from now or something like that. So that's a great fluffer. Honestly, I think it's a great point. It says, I'm sorry if you sound stressed. You have spent way too much and not diversified. And that's, I mean, I spend a lot of time watching the stock too, but I don't let it stress me out because I've been through this, the volatility, all this kind of stuff. It's just part of it. When you're into like a squeeze play or a highly manipulated stock, volatility is definitely a part of it, and that's why. Um, I've been looking into other stocks too. Like, I know you guys know I've been playing these other plays on the side, trying to make money here and there. But that's one of the reasons, like, I jumped into DraftKings. I jumped into, I did a day trade on Zoom the other day because sometimes it's refreshing to get into a stock that's not highly manipulated. Um, Let me see here. All right, I'm just checking my phone real quick. And Freak is in the house. Zeke says, "How's Ortex looking?" Let's see. Nothing. They're not really reporting shit. Difference of 600,000 shares borrowed today. I just clicked away. What the hell did I click on? Sorry, but yeah, there was a difference of 600,000 shares. I was trying to refresh it just to make sure. That's also why I don't get too, wrapped up in some of this stuff now too, because you can just tell. So Ortex is definitely this is 353 353,000 shares returned versus 978 borrowed. Difference is 600,000 basically. Cost to borrow went up a little since this morning, but nothing major. What would stop from the continue to short forever? Well, I mean, as a company, people enter into a short position either to prevent a stock from moving upwards, and then maybe they could drive it into the ground. With the case of like an AMC or a GameStop or Toys R Us and a lot of those companies, they were trying to really bankrupt them. They knew that kind of like big box stores were going out, and they were just going to keep going. But when you're in a case of like Clove or some other stocks where, like I think Tesla, this is a lot like Tesla, where people were shorting Tesla right off the bat more because it was disruptive tech and they didn't want it to affect the way that the industry had been. They know that it's going to change the game. And so they were trying to stop it before it could happen. And that's what I see Clove as, but you can't stop it, right? And so we've seen the quarter two earnings yesterday were huge in that regard. And as this company continues to grow, and organically producing revenue and expanding and getting Clover Assistant signed on with other people. And it's just like they can't short it forever. They can't, because there's going to be more big money coming in and buying and holding. You know, just like how retail, they say buy and hold. That's all institutions are doing too. And the more buying that comes in, the more revenue that this company produces, the more people are going to see how grossly undervalued it is. And then you're going to have analysts, new analysts coming in to cover the stock that are going to say, you know, Citi's full of shit. Bank of America's full of shit. They're saying this thing's worth 9 only because they're short the stock. This stock should be trading for 40. You know, and you know, it's just gonna it'll organically grow too. You know, and that's more without the short squeeze, without the gamma squeeze, all that. But this stock is going to go up. They can't suppress it forever. Just be confident in that. Sorry guys, I'm hella skipping past everything right now. I just want to catch up here before the guest comes on, because it's even harder for me to keep up with the chat when the guest comes in. Pat says, guys, they want us to make money. They get out of generosity. They decided to give us another day of sale pricing. Hell yes. And Cuckoo Bird says, for those of you who feel like you're bag holders, you are not. The company is the future of healthcare. Absolutely. It's going to change the game. If you truly feel like you're holding a bag, and Cuckoo Bird brings up a good point, do a little research into the company. You know, shit, watch that video. I think Target Short Sellers put out yesterday. It was of was it Vivek talking, and just talking about like the future of the company. And there's so much information that's out there now, more so than, and that's one of the beauty of like all the new people that are covering this stock and talking about it, is there's information out there. But you got to get past the noise too, and look at like what this company is really doing, and it's amazing. And it will be successful. I really feel like we're getting a steal right now. Let's see. Zooksy says I added 500 this morning. Should have never bought options. Yeah, so options are a little bit different, right? And that's, I know I talked about that, and I don't want to rub it in or nothing like that, but I was talking about that earlier today. You know, shares are always the safest way, right? For me, I play both, but you want to have the bulk of your position. And when I say bulk, like 90%, 95% of your position, maybe even 70. I know some people like a 70-30 split, but you want to have the bulk of your position in shares or super long-term options like 2023s or something. That's a long-term play. And then you go play with that little tiny amount and play the options with it. But when you play like 100% options on something, I mean, you get burned. And I've done it before. I've learned the hard way on a lot of stuff. And sometimes I go into plays just knowing I'm just going to go 100% options because it's a short-term deal. Like this VIH play that we're on there, where we got these calls for like $5 a piece, it might not pan out. Shit, the stock's been trading between 990 and 10 for, it seems like, months. But if it does, it's going to pay off. And so I threw a couple $100 in, bought these call contracts for $5 a piece, and if it happens, it happens. But I know that going in. But you just want to be careful. Yeah, Zeke says my $9 and $10 calls for today got smoked. Yeah, I bought some yesterday. I think when we were watching Tarheel's show, I was looking, and I think but I bought like this $18 strike yesterday. Again, straight up bet. It was like, they were like $1 a contract. But you gotta understand something too. When options are priced that cheap, right, for a penny, it's for a reason. It's because it's probably not gonna pan out. But I was looking yesterday, and like the $17 strike was 1 penny. So I'm like, or maybe it was the $18 strike. So I think I bought like 20 of them, $20. Now, is it going to hit today? Probably not. But what if I would have woke up this morning and we gapped up, and today was the day that we gamma squeezed? Well, I just got 20 contracts for $20 that if we were to really blow out the chain today at $43, each contract would have paid off 2,500. That's the way I like to play options. Is go in and grab those lotto ticket ones. And unfortunately, today, I mean, the day's not over, but it does seem like my $20 is gone. But it only cost me 20. Lisa makes a great point. Look at who CLOV's success threatens. The simplest explanation is most often the correct one. Other healthcare providers, pharmaceutical companies, etc. Absolutely. Ghost is in the house. What's up, Ghost? Me and Ghost are actually, so you guys that were on here yesterday and then the other day, me and Ghost were talking a long time offline, and we're going to try to partner up and do something really soon. So I'll put something out on the channel. If you're subscribed to the channel, then you'll definitely get the notification or whatever. But we're gonna throw something together, and me and him are working on something right now. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So something I'm looking forward to. Drova Zamboni says $9. Ah man, you still got a week. Shit. I mean, the way we're trending right now, obviously this is not financial advice and this is just my opinion, but I'm confident as hell that we're closing above 9 next Friday. Okay, I don't know what you bought them for, but I think we're closing above 9 next Friday. I mean, we're trending in that direction. I wouldn't be shocked to see us definitely close maybe around it. If today ended up being boring as shit and nothing happens, I mean, obviously anything could happen today, but if today just kind of ended up being a boring, old, regular sideways trading day, I would say we probably close today between 850 and 875, right? Which would still be a huge win on the week. And then, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love to see us close above 9, and the potential's still there for us to all of a sudden. I mean, we are trading on 18 million volume today already, and we're only an hour in. But let's say we did that, and then next week we open up, who knows, above $9, with a little crazy pre-market action. Let the FOMO build in over the weekend when people start reading about the call or about the earnings and everything. I think we're finishing above 9 next week. All right, guys. So look, I got a special guest coming on. I know I said that already. I hope you guys all stuck around to see this. So I'm gonna skip ahead in the chat. If I missed you guys in the chat, throw whatever else you got, because I just skipped all the way ahead. But I do have a special guest coming on, and I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger, so we can see. But I think this is hey, let me do this. There we go. That way we can still see this. First time on YouTube that I know of, but this guy's been all over Twitter, and I'm really excited to see him come on today. But here we go. This is Scotty Z in the house. What's up, Scotty?
What's up, guys? What's up, CLOV gang? How's everybody doing today?
What's up?
What's a good word, coach?
Nothing, man. Nothing. Just excited. It's Friday. Regardless of what happens.
Yo, it's Friday. Hey, it's Friday. I got the shots here. I'm ready to rip, man. Hey, look, I'm very excited to be here, and thank you for having me on today. I just wanted to say I love this CLOV family. I love the lots of positivity I see in your streams and in Tarheel streams. And it's so great to see all the other guests coming in and contributing, like Ghost, like Jasifu and Pablo and Degen. It's so great, this little community that we got building right now and that we're rocking out with. Look, I'm not a trader, like a crazy trader by any means. You're not gonna find any TA coming out of my mouth. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I came because I'm one of them apes, bro. I heard about Robin Hood and all this other crap from my brother. I figured I'd hop on some Dogecoin, and then all of a sudden, man, I got meme stock nuts, meme stock crazy. I'm AMC and I'm wishing, I'm cliffing, I'm CLNE, and I'm doing it all, dude. And I'm taking these stocks, and they're going up a little bit. Some are going down a little bit. I'm making a few dollars here, $10, $20, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Look, I'm sure a lot of people. My point is, I'm sure a lot of people are in my boat and doing the same kind of gig. But here's the thing about this stock. When I found this stock and when I jumped on it, again, I was already on BB. I was already in with AMC. I thought I was a big hero. I got AMC at $15. I sold it at 22. I thought I was awesome. You know what I mean? Before that run up to 70 or whenever it got to, I thought I was killing it. Big stock guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, this Clove, this community, these people here have it. Everybody's contributing in their own way, whether it's on the Discord, whether it's here in the chat with you or in Tarheel's chat, whether it's coming on and having some good shit to say. I've yet to see a guest that really had something bad to say. I might just be the first one, but everybody's got cool shit to say. Everybody contributes, and that's what I got to say, man. I love it, man. And I just love being here. I want to thank you for having me on. I want to thank you and Tarheel especially for all the hard work you guys have been doing. Like, you know, man, I've been here not maybe since the start, but I've been here a long time, bro. Long time, you know? And look, whether it ever pops or not, I could really care less, bro. I'm just enjoying my time here. My investment's my investment. What I got's what I got. And in, you know, learning about this company and learning about Clover, I'm very happy and content and satisfied with what I got. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Like, whether we
and that's what I got for you, bro.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. I love the energy too. It sounds like everybody else in the chat too does too, man. Co-creator said, "Let's get some clothes for Scotty," and it looks like everybody's been dropping them in the chat. I don't know if can you see them? Can you see the chat on there or no?
Hey, let's rip a shot, Coach.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
so Scotty's deal is
it's way early for you. Way too early.
Yeah, Scotty's deal is he takes the shots on Fridays. If you guys haven't followed him on Twitter, I'm gonna what's your Twitter handle, Scotty? Just so everybody's got to get on that tip.
That's another thing, man. I'm not really big. Like, I'm really actually very anti social media, and my buddy set this Twitter up for me. So I'm like, you know, I'm a little bit of an old dog, man. I'm, you know, 42. I still don't have all the social media stuff down yet.
I'm gonna pull it up and put it on the.
It's the real 99, the number 99 cent S1. I'll type it in the chat. Hang on one sec.
I'm gonna pull it up too, just so we can see it, because I don't know if you want all the followers you're about to get, but we got like 10,000 people on this stream right now, and so everyone's good. Let me see the real night. There we go. I just pulled up your Twitter right now, just so everybody could check it out. But so
sweet,
there's where are we at?
There's that idiot. Look at him go.
Right there, the real 99 cent S1. And so Scotty does these videos every Friday, man, where he'll take a nice shot to kick off the weekend. And so he's gonna come on here and get us going for Friday.
Coach, so you picked the one for today. Mind the camera here with this. You see this? You see these here? I got a Parrot Bay, a Black House, Captain Morgan Spice Rum. What do you think? What do you think we're gonna have today?
Perfect choice, because I'm a pirate, man. It's Captain Morgan. Got to be the Captain Morgan. Winner. Yeah. Hey, that's gonna be good luck. That's my favorite hard liquor. For real. So
nice. Hey, I'm gonna give it a rip, man. Here's the Clove. Let's get green here, guys. Let's get green. Oh, nasty. Especially at 10:48 in the morning Eastern time. Very nasty. But that's gonna start me off, man. I'm gonna get it going now today. Big vodka day for me today. It's Friday. I get to drink on Friday. Nice. I don't really drink during the week ever, really at all. Very rarity. Rarely do I drink during the week. But Friday, Saturday, you can find me stumbling around the beach, bro. I fall all over the beach at Asbury Park, New Jersey. I'm all over the shore down there, going nuts in Belmar. Whatever it is, man, pumping my fist, whatever it takes. You know, the Jersey Shore thing.
I love it, man. I saw you sent that picture on the beach this weekend, too. I was getting jealous, man. That's awesome, though. I love it. Thank you for coming on, Scotty. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Coach.
Everybody get on Tarheel Blue a little later. I'll see you guys there. Check out all the videos that these guys got. Thank you, guys, man. Thank you, Coach. Have a good day, guys.
Take it easy, man. Thank you. Oh, that's awesome. You guys, I know if Scotty, you're still listening. I feel like I just had my first celebrity on. Scotty's been, I know I told the story before, but I've been following Scotty on Twitter since the beginning, because he's been on the show. He's always been, in the chat on the show and everything. And so I was following him on Twitter, and I used to go on Twitter all the time, and it was showing blocked sensitive material. And it was all these tweets from Scotty. I'm like, damn, Scotty must be wild. Why can't I ever see Scotty's tweets? And I don't really do social media, so I never even went into my settings to unblock it, right? So I think it was either last Friday. I think no, it was the Friday before last. Finally, I went in and I undid my settings so I could see sensitive material, and I'm just like, what the hell Scotty been tweeting? And and then I seen as it was so every Friday he's been going. This is like shit for like 2 months, 3 months. Every single Friday he goes on there and he's been giving shout outs to me and shout outs to Tarheel and everybody, and he does a shot like that every Friday, and I'm like, oh man, I've been missing out on this, all this long. So me and my neighbor are sitting in my garage, and we're it's a Friday, and we go through and we're watching all his videos, like 3 months worth of Scotty Friday videos, taking his shots. And it got me fired up. I started drinking a little earlier than I would have. But Scotty, man, thanks for coming by. Way to get us fired up. I don't know if I like to think that, the combination of me signing off in the next 10 minutes and Scotty coming on the show is what's really going to propel us right now to get past VWAP and start moving us past 9. Everyone was worried about their $9 calls. Shit, after Scotty coming on here, I think we're hitting it. I think we're money. I really do. Al said, I think Scotty does a shot every day that ends in Y. Nah, he's got to save it for Friday. Save it for Friday. Yeah, Ghost, I'm feeling the same way. So that woke me the F up. 7:50 in LA, and I'm officially awake. Man, I feel the same way. I kind of felt bad, like I should have took a shot with Scotty, especially because he was drinking the Captain Morgan. That's my thing. Yeah, but that was dope. Scotty, we got to do that again. Maybe we just make it the if as long as you don't mind drinking this early, I'll have you on here. You can come on and close out the show every Friday. That'll be our way for everybody to kick off the weekend. But we'll talk later. I've had it for breakfast before. Sambuca for breakfast. Yeah, Sambuca's good. But yeah, man, that was fun. So, anyways, on that note, guys, it's Friday. I don't know. I know I told Tarheel to kind of let me know what time he was gonna get on, but I guess I don't know if you're still in the chat, Tarheel. I think he might be jumping on a little bit earlier today. If you haven't already, I did put Tarheel's link down in this video today. Make sure you go down there and subscribe to him, and that way you guys could check him out and turn on the bell notifications. The only reason I say that is because a lot of times me and Tarheel, well, more so Tarheel, I've been pretty consistent, like where I'd start streaming at 6 until the last 2 days. Where let me pull up Scotty's Twitter. You guys are asking for it. See, Scotty, man, I told you all 10,000 of people on this stream right now are gonna be looking to follow Scotty now. Let me see. The real. There we go. It's the real 99-cent S1. Right there. The real 99-cent S1. Oh, Scotty, did you do a video this morning? You did. Special announcement. I haven't even watched it yet, but I'm going to give this thing a retweet. Because I was already on here. I think I didn't even go on Twitter before I got on this morning. But, man, you guys got to follow Scotty on Twitter. You have to. But yeah, what I was saying was make sure you hit that bell. Because the bell alert. Because, like, for me, the last 2 days I went on at 5, and I might actually keep doing it because it's enough of you. Everybody was on. I felt like I went on. Not everybody. Co-creator stumbled in here at like 6:15, but most people, a lot of you guys were already up at 5 and were jumped on. And I mean, I didn't even like put it out there or nothing. So, if you hit the bell, my point is, then you'll know, that it's happening. And then more importantly, like with Tarheel, his schedule originally was like he would do the power hour, but I mean, this guy's a machine lately. Sometimes, who knows, Tarheel might go live an hour from now, and you want to have that notification. You want to know that we could jump on and check it out. So don't only just hit the subscribe button, go in and do the bell too. Gangsta says Scotty is how Coach would be if he didn't have kids. Man, do I know you? Yeah, for real. You know what, Scotty? Because I'm not even gonna go scroll through the chat. The chat was going absolutely nuts when you were going, man. And some of the comments I read, someone was like, "Damn, who are these guys, brothers or something like that?" I had an idea. Maybe shave, and I'm gonna get a pair of glasses like that on Halloween. I'm gonna do a special live stream. I'll be Scotty for Halloween. Um, we'll see how it goes. But anyways, hey, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Make sure you check out Tarheel Blue. Make sure you guys, absolutely have a great weekend. Obviously, we're trading down right now. We're down about 7%. Keep it positive. We're up on the week. I think next week will be even. We're gonna go even higher, and Max Payne is a son of a bitch, but we're I think we'll be all right. Just know what you hold. Do your research. This is an absolutely amazing stock that even without a squeeze, for me, triple digits. I'm willing to hold triple digits. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend. All right.